My name is Kim Jang-cheol, a graduate student like any other ordinary person in Korea. At least, I used to be. Yesterday, I suddenly became Demon King Kratos, the final boss of the game I love to play. Well, it's a familiar story, I guess. The goal of that game, Blood Moon War God, is to revive the ancient hero who lies dormant. You know what? Never mind. Telling you this stuff is pointless. The problem now is that a polite demon guy walks in and says, Lord Kratos, I am Zephyrd, your level 10 assistant for the past 10 years. He bows. Preparations for the war are complete. Outside, a blood-soaked battlefield roars with countless monsters screaming in unison. Blood Prince Azurat, level 534, shouts excitedly. End our famine with today's grand invasion. Ice Emperor Sergei, level 531, chimes in. The tragedy of being born on this barren land, the pain of eating our own kin. Let's create an eternal history. Mist Duke Hartok, level 555, roars. Rip apart the humans, crush the elves. Black Rock Tyrant Ball, level 539, bellows. Turn them all into my food. Their ferocious cries echo endlessly. Kratos shouts his command. Demon Legion, hear me. All the elite warriors of the demon race are gathered and ready to receive orders. Standing tall, he declares, I, Kratos, command the entire demon race. But in his mind, he schemes. This war must be stopped at all costs. He breathes heavily. From now on, every warrior's eyes burn with anticipation for battle. Baal, Sergei, and Azurat radiate murderous intent. But in response, Kratos proclaims, we will halt all attacks and start farming. At those words, the four warriors freeze, stunned. Disappointment turns to rage. They shout in unison, that's absurd. Kratos opens his mouth and glares to intimidate them, but deep inside, he's terrified. God, they're scary as hell. The four soldiers immediately fall silent, too frightened to utter another word. Suddenly, a massive hand grips the wall. If we start this war, system notification, you have begun the 20th playthrough. His figure is enormous, impossibly muscular. The playable character, veteran Kim Chi, level 9990. I'd definitely die by his hand. I became a research student in agriculture at Korea University, hoping to become a wealthy farmer. I was too smart, so I quickly became the ace of the program, the top research student. Which meant, oh, Jang-cheol, you're so smart. Write my thesis for me. It'll help you a lot. I need you to help with this project. You're great at this stuff. Oh, and Jang-cheol, plow the fields. Slumping in my chair, I muttered. I've become the #1 slave. My mind spiraled. What kind of life am I living? Why do I do all the work while the professors take the credit? I twisted in frustration, cursing. Those bastards, I'll kill them all. I'll slaughter them. My dopamine levels were drained. I was going insane. The only way to boost my dopamine was gaming. I reached for my controller, diving into a brutally difficult game that's a grind to level up. No player has ever completed it. On my 19th playthrough, I craved achievement so badly I played without sleep. First try, second try, nth try. And so, I became the first to complete Blood Moon War God on the 19th run, defeating the demon. Drooling in a daze, I mumbled, hee hee, so fun. I'm the strongest in the world, hee hee. The 20th playthrough would have insane hellish difficulty, so I needed to level up first. I'd grind, hee hee. I'm the strongest, hee hee. I sniffled, checking my character's stats. Gear at level 9,990, max level 9999. Time to stop grinding. How many years did this take? Whatever, hee hee. Here we go, 20th run. Would you like to start the 20th playthrough? Yes. I firmly pressed yes. Instantly, the TV screen flared brightly. Panicking, I shouted, what's happening? Then, my soul was yanked from my body, hurtling forward. My soul was instantly sucked into the glowing TV. Blinding light poured from the sky. Now, my soul was free falling through the air. Eyes wide, I cursed inwardly. Holy crap, what the hell? Calm down, I'm smart. Okay, I'm green, so this is my soul. I probably won't fall and die, right? Probably. I carefully scanned my surroundings. That's the life tower. This means I've entered Blood Moon War God. Then it hit me. What? That's the tomb of the Holy Knight. I shouted in glee. Hell yeah. I'm about to become veteran Kimchi, the near-max level beast. My epic, unbeatable life is about to start. Ha ha. My soul zoomed toward veteran Kimchi, then I smirked, thinking, wait, now that I think about it, I don't really want to become that guy. The moment I thought that, my soul swerved, shooting in another direction. What? Where am I going? What the hell? No, 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 I said no. And now here I am. Kratos clutches his head in despair. This is driving me insane. He curses himself. If I hadn't had that stupid thought after seeing veteran Kimchi, I'd be the most badass character by now. I'm such an idiot. Zephyr strolls down the corridor when a voice catches his attention. Kratos has definitely weakened. Whispers spill from the room. That's why he's scared and ordered us to stop the attack. Let's team up and behead him. We'll split the throne's power. Just like Kratos became king by beheading the previous demon king. Hartok squints. What if he hasn't weakened? Two of us will be gravely injured or dead. Sergei nods in agreement. Azurat snaps. If you act as our shield, I'll try. Furious, he adds. What? Want to die by my hand first. Ball, unconcerned, drools. I'm so hungry. Azurat glares. Fine. If there's proof the demon king has weakened, what then? The three reply in unison. If that's true, we'll have to kill him. Ball sulks. I'm so hungry. Zephyr calmly listens outside, reporting, morale among our troops has plummeted. He adds cautiously, cases of soldiers attacking and eating each other are rising. Some have even fled the demon lands without notice. The 4 demon generals are enraged. They claim you've weakened and are plotting to behead you. Kratos trembles inwardly. If those 4 attack together, I'm dead. If I seem weak, I'm also dead. He tilts his head, wondering, wait, what about veteran Kimchi? Since I didn't possess him, is he just a husk? Then charging into the human world might be better. Zephyr presents a crystal orb, reporting, this is footage of the Holy Knight's tomb sent by the general. Veteran Kimchi coldly swings his staff amid the demon's desperate cries. Please stop. Save me. He leans close, jamming 2 fingers into a demon's eye sockets. Wait. What are you doing? No, stop. Screams of agony echo. My eyes. My eyes. Veteran Kimchi stands, exuding murderous intent. Kratos sweats profusely, panicking. That plan won't work. He looks like a crazed maniac. I don't want to face him. I have to stay here at all costs. In this situation, I either look weak, surrender, and the 4 generals kill me, or I charge into the human world, and veteran Kimchi gouges my eyes and kills me instantly. Kratos sobs unconsciously. Why? Why did I end up in this game world? I can't even find happiness anymore. He stands resolutely. The only way is to solve the food problem and calm the demons. Zephyr looks puzzled. Lord Kratos, where are you going? Kratos replies sternly. Yes, well, I'm inspecting some land for farming. Zephyr questions, yes? Kratos glares back. Zephyr adjusts his glasses. Lord Kratos, you're narcissistic and arrogant, with no manners. Yet you say yes politely? That's horrifying and terrifying. Please don't do that. Kratos' face darkens, thinking, what's wrong with him? Is he provoking me? Is this his usual act? Zephyr appeared only once before the Demon King battle, without explanation, making him oddly famous. Oh, great Holy Knight, the Demon King no longer wishes to fight. Please return. Yet the Holy Knight struck Zephyr without hesitation. Zephyr collapsed, blaming himself. Oh, Demon King, forgive my weakness for failing to protect you. Players thought he was fiercely loyal or deeply respectful of the Demon King. Zephyr mutters, this mistake of yours is unprecedented. I've never seen a Demon King lose the demon's trust so thoroughly. Kratos grits his teeth, cursing inwardly. He's so damn annoying. Zephyr diligently notes in his book, you want to farm demon land? I didn't expect your memory to be as bad as a pigeon's. Kratos roars, seriously, I'm the Demon King, you know? Don't push it, or I'll, frustrated, he thinks. Why isn't he scared? Even past Demon Kings and I tried farming this land, right? With the extreme temperature swings, you know nothing can grow here, right? Kratos growls, with my current power, reviving this land is possible. He calculates carefully. I hate farming, but I need to survive first. He kneels, clawing at the dirt, baffling Zephyr. Ignoring him, Kratos shoves the soil in his mouth. Zephyr scribbles, "The Demon King is bizarre. He's become a beggar, eating dirt." Kratos snaps, "What are you writing? Stop it." "What's that?" Zephyr retorts sagely, "I'm just doing my duty. Chronicling the Demon King is vital, and your memory is clearly failing." Kratos fumes, "He's such a pain." He spits out the dirt. "This soil has no nutrients. No nitrogen either. Nitrogen, essential for plant growth. Though it's 78% of the atmosphere, plants can't use it due to its triple-bonded stability, making it chemically inert. Humans develop nitrogen fixation through chemical processes, boosting food production. Do that here? Impossible. Nothing here supports farming." Kratos muses, stroking his chin, "That means we must use natural nitrogen fixation. Lightning, with its high voltage, oxidizes nitrogen into nitrate, which dissolves in rainwater and enriches the soil." Recalling the game, Demon King Kratos' signature move. Arrogant Demon King Kratos slashes his hand, blood spraying into the air. Blood surge. It triggers lightning and humidity, transforming barren land into fertile soil. Exhausted, Kratos orders, "Step back." He claws his hand with sharp nails. Here goes. Blood surge. Splat. Damn, that hurts like hell. Crazy Demon King. Does he always use this move? Is he insane? It's agonizing. Suddenly, a heavy killing intent makes him turn. Oh. The four generals' eyes bore into him. He's weakened. He's weaker now. Their gazes lock. Kratos freezes, panicking briefly. Zephyr adjusts his glasses. "You're definitely weaker, 100%. Kratos thinks he's an assassin. His plan is to provoke and kill me. Kratos steels himself, clawing his hand again. "This is better than dying. Here I go." Blood surge. His blood sprays into the air, briefly soaring before splattering onto the barren ground. Clutching his hand, Kratos groans, "Damn." Rapid footsteps approach. Demon King Kratos. The four generals, radiating killing intent, ask, "Are you unwell, Lord?" Kratos sweats, terrified. Holy crap, crap, crap. A girl's silhouette stands atop a towering hill. Veteran Kimchi, pensive, muses, "It's faint, but I have some memories of past lives. I've lived this life over 10 times. I move toward that place, driven by the call of summoning." She stares at her hand, but it's gone. The call of summoning is silent. What do I live for now? NPC Veteran Kimchi, level 9990, gazes sadly at her empty hands, then walks away coldly, abandoning everything. Kratos sweated profusely, staring at the four bloodthirsty demon generals. Azurat smirked, "You know the law of demons, right? The strongest is the Demon King." Kratos gritted his teeth, trembling inwardly. "God, they're terrifying. Each one is powerful. I can't even use a single skill. Am I going to die now?" Azurat, slightly intimidated, eyed Kratos. TCH, his pressure is unreal. The fight hasn't even started, and he's already gathering so much power his body's shaking. He forced a grin, but Azurat boldly taunted, "Can you defeat all four of us in your current state?" He glanced at the other three, signaling. Though outwardly confident, he was terrified inside. What the hell, guys? Their eyes seemed to say, "We'll watch you fight and join if we can." Azurat sweated buckets, cursing silently. "These filthy bastards, they're shameless. We're demons, of course we're vile." Zephyr calmly announced, activating a live projection screen. "For the ancient demon tradition, both sides will fight to the death, no surrender." Kratos and Azurat shouted in unison, "Wait, look how fast he moves." Azurat, realizing there was no turning back, gripped his weapon, reassuring himself, "Don't worry, I'll win this." He's weakened. Kratos clenched his teeth, racking his brain. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do in this situation? I just tested my power. Demon Kings are supposed to be insanely strong, but I'm not invincible. I'm strong, but not strong enough to brag about. Azurat roared, charging forward, interrupting Kratos' thoughts. "Here I come." Kratos recoiled in panic. I've seen that move in the game before. It's either a stab or a slash. No way I can dodge something like that. But somehow, Kratos reacted and dodged Azurat's stab. Even he was shocked. Huh? How did I dodge that? His front foot was forward, meaning it was definitely a stab. It's the exact move from the game. Azurat quickly regained balance, sliding his foot to stabilize. Hartok and Sergei held their breath, watching. Did you see Kratos' expression when he dodged that? He's about to counter and rip his arm off. Why hasn't he done it yet? Wait and observe. Azurat attacked again, but Kratos effortlessly dodged once more. Stunned, he thought, what's happening? All his moves are exactly like in the game. The first time I fought Azurat, I had to retreat. No way, can he actually be beaten? He's fast, with unpredictable, wide-ranging attacks. But after dying once, 3 times, 10 times, I finally beat him on my 128th try. In the next 19 playthroughs, I could completely make a fool of him by dodging and running without fighting. Azurat charged again, straight forward, but Kratos swallowed hard, then flashed a wide, sinister grin. No way his attacks can touch me. That menacing, oppressive laugh sent chills through the 3 generals. Kratos, reveling in the moment, gracefully dodged every one of Azurat's attacks. The generals grew wary. He's enjoying himself because he's too strong. He's mocking Azurat's weakness and loving it. Azurat gritted his teeth in frustration as Kratos gleefully dodged, thinking, what a relief. This doesn't mean I can beat him, but I've realized something crucial. This world follows the game's rules. The system chimed, Kim Jang-cheol, you've grasped the basic laws of this world. He stared at the system panel, serious. Huh? This is the notification box from Stories. The system dinged again. Ding. You've also mastered dodging enemy attacks with intense focus. Azurat, now enraged, attacked Kratos with tentacles and twin daggers. The system, as a reward, zing. A portion of your character's game system has been unlocked. Targeting function activated. Kratos glanced back in shock. This is the targeting used for special skills. Kratos swiftly slashed his hand with his claws, flinging blood into the air. Blood surge. A lightning orb shot toward Azurat, who screamed in agony. The overwhelming power stunned Hartok and Sergei. The other demons watching the live feed cheered wildly. That's it. That's our Kratos. Kratos' eyes glinted with killing intent, glaring at the writhing Azurat, electrified and smoking. Kratos bit his lip, unconvinced. He's still alive after taking a blood surge? The move that kills instantly in the game? Damn, his recovery is too fast. I didn't expect that. Without hesitation, Kratos unleashed another blood surge, striking Azurat. His pain screams terrified the others. He's attacking at a level that won't kill but still hurts. Kratos, panting and exhausted, judged internally, he won't die. Now what? The system. You've torn off all of Azurat's clothes, and now he's gasping. Kratos blinked, stunned. What's with this message? Can you not make me sound like a pervert? A new system unlocked. Armor removal inventory unlocked. Kratos gaped at the system, wondering, is there any good armor in there? What the hell? All I have is what I'm wearing, nothing useful now. He calculated carefully. I need to deal with him first. I'm not that strong, so I can't kill him. His recovery is great, so he'll get up soon. Then it hit him. Oh, wait. Since he's not dead, I can still target him. So I can keep hitting him with blood surge. Kratos grinned excitedly. I can give him a beating he'll never forget. Yes, I'm the smartest. He turned, eyeing the trembling generals. They're definitely scared of me, right? Perfect. Let's test it. Acting on impulse, Kratos shouted, hey. Sergei jumped, responding, why yes. Kratos barked, tie Azurat up tight. Sergei blushed, thinking darkly, he wants me to tie up a naked man? He's humiliating both me and Azurat. And so, Azurat was tightly bound to a pole. Step 1. Prepare the lightning rod. A breeze revealed Azurat's shocked face. He snapped awake, yelling, I am M. Hawkins. Azurat has revived. You think you can kill me with blood surge? I'll cut your head off this time. But another blood surge from Kratos electrocuted him into submission. Step 2. Blood surge. This way, I can oxidize nitrogen in the air into nitrate. Kratos turned, ordering, Hartok, cover this place in mist. It needs to be so thick it's dripping. Hartok's heart skipped. What? He marveled internally. Is he planning to make this place wet to amplify his lightning's pain? What a creative torture method. I learned something today. Hartok quickly complied, conjuring a mystical black fog. The fog formed dense droplets. Step 3. Spread the mist. Blood surge fired repeatedly. Step 4. Relentless attacks. Kratos grimaced, frantically flinging blood, screaming internally, ow, this hurts. Blood and lightning alternated. Zephyr watched, expressionless. Maul and Sergei were speechless at the gruesome scene. Azurat's body was now a lightning rod. Kratos, uncontrollably thrilled. Amazing. This way, I can enrich the soil with nitrate. What if I get a bountiful harvest? I'm so excited, ha ha ha. The horrific, unprecedented torture continued amid Kratos' wicked laughter. This electric torture is high reward for low effort. The sun began setting through the distant fog. Kratos grabbed a handful of soil, nodding in satisfaction. Good. I'll keep adding nitrate this way. Next is soil consolidation. Loose soil like this doesn't hold oxygen or drain well. For farming, porous, granular soil is ideal. That's why I need to make compost now. With that thought, Demon King Kratos winced, ordering, all of you, bring me manure. At those words, the three generals froze. They shared one thought. After turning him into a lightning rod and roasting him, he wants to smear manure on him? That's beyond cruel. In the crisp morning, a young man strolled through a dense forest. A sudden groan halted Kimchi. Please save me. Cautiously approaching the desperate plea, save us. Kimchi peered through the brush. Two pitiful figures begged. We were attacked by bears. Please help us. We'll reward you. Kimchi stepped out, his attire terrifying them, eyes wide. He calmly raised a hand. Don't worry, I'm not suspicious. He looked insanely suspicious. Kimchi asked gently, your leg's injured? Without waiting, he hoisted the wounded man onto his shoulder. Lead the way, he said. Though confused, Holy Priest Frontera nodded. All right. Azrahan praised, you're strong. I'm Envoy Rivage Azrahan. Behind us is my servant, Frontera. Trying to be friendly, he asked, may I know your name? Kimchi replied softly, from now on, that's what I want to find out. In the meeting hall of Demon King Kratos' castle, the three demon generals sat in heavy silence. Hartok's face was ashen. How are we supposed to just bring manure? Are we supposed to crap on the spot, or what? Sergei, flustered and biting her finger, snapped. This is insane, disgusting, horrific. Ball sulked. It's been so long since Ball ate. I can't crap. Sergei shot up, slamming the table. Don't talk about my crap, you idiot. Hartok mused seriously. Even if we could crap, I wouldn't give him mine. Let's beat up the low-tier demons and make them do it. In a remote border village, cries echoed. Please, please don't do this. I beg you. A scrawny, skeletal demon trembled, squatting, pleading. If everyone's watching, I can't crap. Please, at least wait outside. Hartok stood at the door, arms crossed. What's taking so long? A soldier squinted. The others said the same, but they couldn't. Before he could finish, Hartok strode in coldly. So you can't provide for us, no matter what. The demon stammered, terrified. Lord Hartok, I haven't eaten in so long. I can't. Hartok swiftly seized the demon's throat, lifting him with a growl, his sharp black claws gleaming. Thanks, I understand. He raised his claws to pierce the demon's stomach. The frail demon could only scream for mercy. Luckily, Ball grabbed Hartok's arm, stopping him. He glared, frowning. What's that about? Ball explained calmly. If you gut him, he'll die. That means no manure. They need to crap more so we can collect more. Hartok nodded, approving, and released the demon. That's clever, didn't expect it from you. Scowling, veins bulging, he added. If I feed them your flesh, maybe they digest something. Ball, unfazed, exuded a fierce killing intent. Their immense powers clashed, making the low-tier demon quiver. Both clenched their fists and lunged at each other without hesitation. Suddenly, Kratos appeared, roaring, What are you doing? Hartok and Ball froze, paralyzed. Kratos raised a hand, explaining, Humans aren't the only creatures that excrete. Manure without nutrients is useless. You need nutrient-rich manure. Zephyr glanced over. Manure? Kratos nodded. Yes, material to nourish the soil. Normally, manure is made from wood chips, grass, soil, eggshells, and chicken waste. For wood chips and grass, we can use the houses we saw earlier. The issue is eggshells and chicken waste. Kratos suddenly recalled something. Oh, he ordered. Zephyr, bring me the kingdom's map. Zephyr complied. Yes, your majesty. Kratos placed his hand over the map, thinking. As expected, it's identical to the game's map. That means I can find them if I go here, where the seagulls live. In the game, they're abundant. That means seagulls digest plenty of nutrients from human lands. And when they crap and lay eggs there, it'll be a perfect spot. Zephyr observed closely. Your Majesty, are you planning to collect seagull waste? Kratos, slightly surprised. Oh, you're sharp. Zephyr calmly recounted. That place is called the No-Return Cliff. It has no footholds, and if you fall, you'll be trapped in raging waves. Kratos' face darkened. Yeah, I know. He thought. Because players can't go there. Kratos declared, but I can climb it. Now at the Seagull Cliffs, the three generals shared one thought. What's he thinking? Many have challenged catching those seagulls since ancient times, but they all fell into the deadly sea. Kratos turned, instructing, I'll climb up and toss down bags of waste and eggs. Make sure you catch them. Grinning, he added, if this plan works, everyone will eat well. Ball, pensive, recalled earlier, Hartok choking the frail, starving demon, the demon's hunger with nothing to eat. Kratos strode alone toward the cliff's edge. Staring at it, he thought, which playthrough was it when I tried climbing this in the game? I tried every way to scale this cliff. Before leaping with all his might, I tried 100 times and died countless times in the process. His feet left the cliff. Everyone watched Kratos intently, eyes glued. He vaulted toward a towering rock pillar. But I finally succeeded in the game. Kratos dug his claws into the cliff. Exploiting a glitch, his hand gripped tight, indenting the rock. The generals watched in awe, not daring to blink. Kratos opened his game inventory, then hit the Drop All Items button. Before the generals' eyes, Kratos, now naked, sank into the cliff. They couldn't believe it. Thinking fast, Kratos spun around. I need to flip quickly. Sergei, blushing furiously, turned away, eyes shut. Oh God, no, no. Kratos hit the Equip Items button. Now he hung on the sheer cliff. His actions shocked Sergei. Flipping and stripping, repeating that to climb. Kratos continued, stripping, climbing, flipping, re-equipping. Strip, climb, flip, equip. Finally, his hand reached the cliff's peak. He stood majestically, radiating strength. Done. A world where the game's system is shared, an inventory, and a map no one can reach. Oh, it's possible. Combining all this, I tested it, and it's proven possible. Ball, awestruck, watched Kratos. His Majesty said he'd feed us. Ball will climb and help. Zephyrd, still stunned. What? Lord Ball, that place is... Before finishing, Ball sprinted off. Zephyrd shouted, No, you can't. His challenging tone made Kratos whip around. Ball leaped into the air toward the cliff. Ball will follow his Majesty. Kratos yelled, What are you doing? Though Ball reached the cliff, it crumbled. Kratos' hand shot out, grabbing bales. Gritting his teeth, Kratos strained to hold Ball, veins bulging across his body. Sweating, he thought, God, he's heavy, my arm's gonna break. Wait, why am I saving him? He's one of the 4 demon generals, a threat. Wouldn't it be better if he died? I have no reason to help him. Kratos' mind wavered. Jangxiel, please help me one more time. The professor won't accept my paper. He'll keep me as his lackey forever. Please, can you help? Then he'll at least review it. He loves you. You're the best. He'll listen to you, please. That junior always stuck by me. Since I was the professor's top lackey, he might have listened. But Jangxiel coldly refused. That's your problem. I'm afraid I'd lose favor, putting myself in a bad spot. Maybe, just maybe, I could have saved him if I tried harder. If I hadn't set limits, his face in my memory would be smiling. Kratos roared with frustration and rage. He surged, pouring all his strength into his arm, even if it broke. Demon King Kratos strained, pulling Ball up. With a mighty swing, he hurled Ball onto the cliff. Bale's body crashed onto the ground. Kratos, panting, clutched his aching arm. Ball, stunned. His Majesty saved Ball, despite risking injury. What? Kratos paused, then stood, answering sternly, because it hurts less than abandoning my subordinate and regretting it later. Bale's face trembled, tears welling. This is what I should have done for him. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Suddenly, the system appeared before Kratos. Even without fully adapting to Demon King Kratos' body, you used all your strength to save someone. As a result, you've earned Bale's gratitude, one of the 4 demon generals. Nodding, Kratos eyed the system, thinking, that's his gratitude? Among hundreds of achievements, a system fostering abundant happiness in your army grants massive points. Confused, he asked, massive points? System, congratulations. Happiness points, HP, system unlocked. Kratos stared at the system panel in shock. Happiness points? I know this. Can I use them to get a discount on ice cream? Is there even an ice cream shop in this world? The system replied, No, what kind of game sells ice cream? Get a grip. For every soldier in your demon legion who feels happy with a full stomach, you earn 1 happiness point. You can use these points to buy stats. Right now, you can only access 20% of Demon King Kratos' power. Stamina, mental strength, physical strength, agility, and magical power are all at 20%. Work to max out all 5 stats to wield 100% of Kratos' power. Kratos calculated carefully. Alright, let's add 10% to stamina. System, add 10% stamina? That costs 50 happiness points. Your current HP is 0. TSK, too expensive. It continued. You can also use happiness points to upgrade skills. Your skill, Blood Surge, level 1. Points needed to level up, 250. Kratos thought, I haven't done much yet, but if I can succeed in farming, I could earn tons of happiness points, right? Then I'd become super strong and boost my survival chances. Looking at the sobbing ball, Kratos mused, being thanked by someone. Just thinking about it makes me grin with excitement. That must feel great, huh? Ball, terrified, thought. His face looks like he'll tear me apart if I don't obey. Since I owe him my life, Kratos is truly a vile demon king. He didn't save me out of some noble gesture. Perched on the 100-meter cliff, Kratos shouted down, Hey, you lot! I'm stuffing this bag with manure and eggshells, then tossing it down. Catch it. Those below choked, what? Without hesitation, Kratos hurled the bag. The essence of the seagulls splattered everywhere, hitting their faces. I can't take this. Kratos, thrilled, clenched his fists. Time to farm. I'll give them everything I've got. First step, make organic fertilizer, seagull manure, eggshells, dry grass, and some gravelly soil. Then, grind and mix them together. Kratos ordered. Sergei, grind and mix that stuff. Sergei, furious, roared, What? You want me to do that? You've got hands. Do it yourself. She raised her sword skyward, declaring, I, the monarch of frost, Sergei. My hands weren't made to mix manure. Kratos grinned wickedly. Oh? Then I'll give you an easier task. Pointing at the lightning rod. Over there, just stand still and get struck by lightning. Easy, right? Gritting her teeth, Sergei painfully began chopping to mix the bird manure. Kratos' heart raced, thinking, Phew, that was close. These hot-headed, clueless idiots. I need to be careful. But I'm the Demon King. I'll rise no matter what. Step 2 for organic fertilizer. Add water. Kratos commanded. Hartok, fill the air with mist. Hartok, confused. What? Demon King. The smell will get worse if the air's humid. Why would I do that? Kratos smirked. Oh, you're refusing? How about this then? Hartok, screaming, soared through the air, conjuring damp mist. Kratos asked softly, What enough? Ball, squeezing the soil, nodded. After soaking, it's softer, like you said. Step 3, place it in a dry spot and cover it with a thin layer of seagull feathers. But even doing a little takes forever to make enough fertilizer for this barren land. Kratos thought, no choice but to mobilize all the demons. Something's nagging at me, but I must finish this. I'll keep pushing forward, in the name of the Demon King. Night fell, enveloping the towering valley. Soft moonlight illuminated a dilapidated house. In a rotting wooden room, a demon bowed sadly before a sick bed. The girl on the bed called out, Father, you look gloomy. What's wrong? Flute, gaunt and weak, lay there. Please, eat me. Her father, horrified. I told you not to say that. Exhausted, she cried. I miss Mother. His eyes widened. That monster, so terrifying and bizarre. It kept screaming, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Poor Flute sobbed, collapsing in fear. The monster's massive maw descended. But then, a woman appeared, shielding Flute. The girl's eyes widened, following the woman's silhouette. Her mother smiled gently at Flute. Before she could speak, the monster swallowed her mother whole. Flute's father, sorrowful. If you're gone, what reason do I have to live? A sudden noise startled him. Demon King Kratos and his subordinates marched in. Kratos growled. You still have the strength to shout? Take him. Wait, what about Flute? If we leave her, the high-tier demons will eat her. Despite his desperate pleas, Kratos and his group left coldly. Flute. Father, how many more demons do we need? 20 so far, 30 more to go. Kratos' icy gaze met Flute's. The girl, despairing, clung on, hopeless. Kratos recalled his first game playthrough, meeting Flute. He pressed the controller without hesitation, his sword swiftly ending her life. Back then, Flute had the same expression. Still, Credos turned away, brushing his hands, ordering, "Halt all cannibalism. It's illegal now, got it? Zephyr, gather the remaining demons. Everyone, start making fertilizer. I'm the Demon King. This level of cruelty is fine, right? I need to achieve my goal. A leader's role is to accept sacrifices." As dusk settled over the mountains, the demons hammered pestles into piles of manure. Dyrok, doubting life. Why are we wasting energy on this? In a few days, it'll pile up? Sounds ridiculous. A nearby demon whispered. Shut up. You'll lose your head if the Demon King hears. Dyrok grimaced. I'll die anyway. Even if this land becomes fertile, what do we plant? We don't have seeds. Suddenly, Credos stood behind Dyrok, wondering what we'll plant. Dyrok's heart skipped. Demon King Credos gestured. Follow me. Serious, he thought as he walked. That day, I saw a purple flower by chance. That's what we can plant. Dyrok, stunned, stared at the purple flower under a tree. That's it. Credos nodded. Yes, we'll plant from its roots. Ball and other farming teams dug up more from other spots. Dyrok, still dazed. Sorry, but Demon King, these roots aren't edible. Eating them releases toxins, causing excruciating pain and death. Credos slowly lifted the flower's roots. But nothing else on this land is chewable, right? As for testing if it's edible, let's do it now. Dyrok, confused, sorry, testing? Credos nodded. Yes, now. Breathing heavily, menacingly. Your daughter, feed her this. Dyrok felt the sky collapse. Screaming, he ran. No. Why? Why would you do this to my innocent daughter? Please, don't eat it, don't. Blocking the door, he shouted. Flute, don't eat that. Panting, he looked inside. Father, tears welled in her eyes. But I already ate it. It doesn't hurt, Father. I feel full. Dyrok trembled uncontrollably. Flute, are you okay? Flute replied. Yes, Lord Zephyr and Lord Ball gave me this yesterday. I felt fine. Credos asked, so, do you trust me now? Long ago, humans in other lands turned poisonous foods into edible ones somehow. They succeeded in processing them to solve their famine. Credos grinned slyly. It's also known as a potato. Flute, touched, looked at Credos. Demon King, I can't believe you're so kind to a low-tier demon like me. Thank you so much. System, a portion of your army feels joy from eating. You've earned happiness points for the first time. HP gained, 1 point. Sin, current HP, 1. Credos frowned at the system panel, then at Flute's happy face. His expression darkened, thinking, back then, Flute's face might have been in agony, but now she's smiling. Just because I'm the Demon King doesn't mean I always have to be cruel. He flashed a wide grin to encourage Flute. A kid like you just needs to eat and grow strong. Dyrok thought, that creepy smile. Is he fattening her up to eat her? Truly a wicked Demon King. Deep within the vast domain of Demon King's 7 ant, the territory is divided into 5 regions, and this one lies at its core. It's bone-chillingly cold at night and scorchingly unbearable in the morning. This climate mirrors the Andes highlands of old. The people there lacked enough food, so they ate poisonous potatoes. Did they all die? Don't you know what humans are like? They find ways to make the inedible edible. Dyrok knelt on one knee, shouting, Demon King, we've detoxified the potatoes. Credos glanced over, commanding, good. Ball, crush them. Ball swiftly launched into the air, landing with tremendous force. He stomped the potatoes from one spot to another. We froze them for 5 nights, then used Bale's meteor stomp on them. After thawing in the day, the toxins leached out and evaporated. Repeating this, we dried and stored them before cooking. Then, they became edible potatoes. Credos' face darkened, muttering, order the gardeners to gather and make fertilizer. Excited, he stuck out his tongue. Time to eat the new snack we made. They'll love this, right? Credos crossed his arms, eyeing the demons. There's not much, so each gets 2 potatoes. Zephyr questioned. There are still plenty of potatoes. Why not make more? Credos frowned. I don't think we have enough. It's not sufficient to feed the entire demon army. So, we'll plant the remaining potatoes to grow more. The demon workers, skeptical, held their potato plates. These are poisonous roots. Are they really edible? My kin died eating these. Dyrok, grasping a potato, reassured. I told you, The Demon King changed them. They're edible now. Flute ate one and is fine. A nearby demon panicked. Idiot. Look at the Demon King's face. Does that look like someone giving you food? He's waiting for us to eat, writhe on the ground, and die. Ignoring the murmurs, Dyrok shoved a potato into his mouth. The other demons watched his chewing expression intently. He swallowed hard, then roared, tears streaming down his cheeks. Long live the Demon King. After the farmers saw the first eater, they devoured the dish quickly. Finishing, they all turned to Kratos, sharing one thought. The Demon King really gave us edible food. The demons chanted in unison, their voices booming. Kratos, yes. Kratos, yes. Kratos, yes. Kratos' face soured, thinking, I don't like these chants at all. I'll have to fix that later. Zephyr nodded, observing silently. His face shows he didn't expect to produce edible food on this barren land. He might actually end the famine tragedy. System, a portion of your demon army feels joy from eating well. Points gained, plus 50. Current HP, 51. Kratos, surprised, glanced at the system panel, smiling faintly. Oh, that's a decent chunk of points. I can make myself a bit stronger. But what'll help me most? I'm not sure yet, so I'll collect more points first. Kratos rubbed his chin, pondering. We'll split into farming and fertilizer teams. Zephyr, stand aside and order. Farmers, listen. Tell the whole village, after you're done, announce that food can now be grown here. We promise demons who dig up potatoes will get vouchers to eat this dish. Kratos glanced at Zephyr. He's pretty sharp. Annoying as he looks, he's been the most helpful. Loyal demons dug potatoes, some preparing the edible dish. Sergei and Hartok labored on fertilizer. Ugh, the manure smell. Others worked on fertilizer, while Kratos signaled demons to move the lightning rod Azurat. Yes, shift it here. No, 10 steps from here, 1 step back. They quickly obeyed, planting the lightning rod in the ground. Kratos swung his hand, unleashing blood surge. Meanwhile, I'll work hard to produce nitrogen. We have enough fertilizer now. It's time for the next step. We need to spread it across this area, but it's too vast. That's too much for farmers who've only eaten a bit of chino. Azurat groaned behind. Ugh, you bastard, just kill me. Kratos coldly slashed his hand, blasting high-voltage electricity into Azurat. A demon who can work well without eating? Even without rest, he can keep going for a while. No choice but to wait. Kratos sat on his throne, asking, You really requested more troops? Zephyr replied respectfully, Yes, I did. We ordered regions to halt attacks, seize new lands, and provide as many troops as possible for farming. We sent envoys to the Starlight regions for more people, but we've had no response. Kratos grumbled. Did the messengers die of hunger before arriving? Spreading fertilizer with our current army is too hard. In the Demon Lands, Starlight region, a deadly stone fortress, a general knelt, reporting. Based on Scout Demon's reports, Demon King Kratos has truly started farming. It seems they've produced food. The old man muttered. Kratos did all this because he fears me. Since I grew stronger, many demons died. He stopped the war, reducing starvation deaths to keep me in check. The Master of Starlight, Father of Death, Saturn, you've dealt with all envoys sent to Starlight regions 2, 3, and 4, right? The general bowed. Yes, the other Starlight Masters know nothing of the war's halt or the farming. Saturn's voice hardened. The demons must all starve. Only then will they become food in my army. He sneered slyly. Then I'll kill Kratos and become Demon King. My ally, Phaemia. Phaemia looked up. Yes, Lord Saturn. He ordered sharply. I want you to destroy everything Kratos has achieved with farming. Phaemia's eyes gleamed blue, as if in agreement. In the quiet evening, on Demon King Kratos' fields, Phaemia crept forward. Kratos is vile, turning Azurat into a husk to scare others. Don't worry, Azurat. Lord Saturn admires your arrogance. He'll take you in after killing Kratos. He waved, summoning shadow demons. Phaemia roared, Destroy this land and make it unusable. At his command, the shadow demons flooded the fields. One hesitated. Lord Phaemia, is this the manure the Demon King mentioned? Phaemia laughed heartily. Scatter it everywhere. Haha, they might collect it again, so spread it evenly. Mix it into the soil so no piece is visible. Bury it deep. Phiamia, thrilled, laughed maniacally. Azurat's face showed a trace of sadness. He recalled Credo's and Zephyr's talk. What do we do? The manure must be crushed and mixed into the soil. It's tough, so it's impossible for the farmers. Phiamia and his shadow demons danced, shouting victory. You're done, Credos. Huh. Azurat, helpless. What do you hope to achieve by doing this? A fresh morning at Demon King Credos' castle, a soul demon sat on a small rock, sighing, this'll never get done. Other soul demons, annoyed, snapped, hey, over there, stop slacking. If any patch of land isn't tilled, Demon King Credos will turn it into farmland. Soul Demon number 2718, you're working harder today than ever. You're usually so lazy. Soul Demon number 1341, well, yeah, but I don't know. Seeing all we've done, I feel proud. You get it? Like I've done something useful. Soul Demon number 1341, baffled, shook its head, chuckling, haha, you idiot. The other soul demons laughed and tilled, I'm an idiot today too. Not much left, aren't we doing great, huh? At dawn, the sun's scorching heat burned the soul demons. We lost track of time working. We're gonna die. But one said, dying like this isn't bad. At least we did something worthwhile. The soul demons dissolved into tiny spirit fragments, drifting skyward. Fakamer, shielding himself from the sun, tears streaming down his cheeks, wiped them away, praising, well done, rest now. He thought, let's see how Credos reacts. Tilling the field took longer than expected, but we took just as long. Credos crossed his arms, standing before a pile of potatoes. All these potatoes are in dormancy. Zephyr questioned, dormancy? Credos nodded, yeah, they won't sprout. Planting them is pointless. It's like a potato sleeping peacefully underground. Then someone yanks its hair. The potato dies from shock. Its biological rhythm stops. He thought, dormancy ends faster if I keep them at about 4 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 weeks, then move them to a warmer, darker place. I'd have Sergi infuse her ice aura into them, but she's furious right now. Hartok's plotting something too. I can't avoid both attacking me at once. Better find another way. Maybe raise the storage temperature to around 23 degrees Celsius. Credos pursed his lips, irritated. Yeah, I made the farmer soldiers do squats, but they tired out fast, so that failed. He spun around, determined, to the farm, Zephyr'd. I'll do what I can. At least we need to infuse nitrogen into the soil. Arriving at the farm, Credos faced chaos. He couldn't believe his eyes. What? The soil's all tilled. The stench is everywhere. Gritting his teeth, glaring, he thought, the field's ready for farming. What kind of miracle is this? Fakamer, hiding nearby, watched Credos' expression. Shocked yet, you bastard? I perfectly ruined his field. Ha ha ha. Ball, stern, stood behind Fakamer, swiftly grabbing him and presenting him to Credos. Fakamer struggled. Let me go. Credos, surprised, thought, huh? That's Fakamer, one of the leaders of the Death Cliff. Did he come here after hearing the call for reinforcements? He scowled. What the hell are you doing here? Fakamer stammered. Before he could answer, he took a punch from Demon King Credos. Zephyr questioned. He hadn't even answered, and you hit him. Credos' face darkened. He's hiding something. Beating him up is the fastest way to deal with this. Fakamer, wincing, boasted, ugh, as expected of the Demon King. But I, Fakamer, won't talk easily. Oh, won't talk easily, huh? Credos pummeled Fakamer's face, making him groan. Even so? After a fruitless interrogation, Credos slumped, exhausted. God, I'm beat. System. Use HP to buy various stats. Stamina, mental strength, physical strength, intelligence, magical power, all at 20%. Current HP, 51. You've spent 50 HP to boost stamina. Physical strength now increased to 30%. After upgrading, Credos resumed hammering Fakamer's face. Ugh. Wait. I'll talk. Actually, I was ordered to sabotage the field to starve everyone. Ultimately, Sathril is the one blocking aid requests. Credos mused. All right. I get it. He only grows stronger when more demons starve. Zephyr added, this is rebellion, but it could be an opportunity. If you defeat Starlight Master Sathril, the demons grumbling about the expedition will see it as a warning. Credos frowned, thinking, that's not the issue. They'll keep hindering my farming if I let them be. I need a surefire way to deal with them. Zephyr asked seriously. The problem is how to defeat Sathril. He can turn his body into his soul-like form. Even in the game, Sathril roams the Death Cliff, a complex map. The whole stage is like hide-and-seek with him. If pests are too hard to kill because they keep hiding, you have to lure them out of their nest. Flute, holding a hoe, looked up at something. Her eyes met Azuret's. He glared menacingly. What are you staring at? Flute scratched her face, shyly. It's, well, she bowed politely. I heard thanks to your sacrifice, we now have food. Thank you. Azuret, enraged, bared his teeth. How dare you mock me? I, Azuret, will kill you, you brat. Flute, terrified, scrambled away. Azuret roared. Just wait, Kratos. Once I'm free, I'll find and kill you. A voice suddenly rang out. Now, all together. Azuret glanced at the familiar voice. Huh? Kratos. Kratos hollered from afar, approaching. So fun. So much fun. Congrats on the second lightning rod in the office. So fun. So much fun. Kratos and the farmers banged drums, shouting loudly. So fun. So much fun. So fun. So much fun. Azuret, stunned. Now there's a second lightning rod. Azuret writhed in tears of joy. I'm free. No more being roasted day and night. The Fakamer lightning rod was placed beside Azuret's. Kratos roared, unleashing blood surge. Warm, crackling lightning surged, jolting both rods. Oh, he means we have 2 lightning rods now. Awesome. This electrifying shock is pure bliss, high reward for low effort. Sathril sat dazed, watching Fakamer get mercilessly zapped through a crystal orb. He sobbed loudly, in agony. Ack. My loyal servant, Fakamer. Take this. Kratos stood tall, unleashing a powerful strike at Fakamer, who was strung up on a cross. Fakamer screamed in agony, his cries relentless. Sathril, watching through a crystal orb, wailed. Fakamer, that must hurt so much. Without pause, Kratos hammered him with another blow. Fakamer's screams grew louder. Stop. Sathril shouted hopelessly. Look at that. Kratos glanced at a nearby tree, where a bird held a crystal orb. He thought, that bird's a scout from the game. It's watching me closely. Gritting his teeth, he glared at it. I'll make you regret messing with my farming. Scene shift. The blazing sun cast harsh rays over the rugged mountains. Little Flute diligently dug the soil with a small hoe. Azuret, bound to a cross, stared at her. Despite her youth, Flute's hands were scarred and battered, her nails cracked and dry. Azuret asked softly, Hey, kid, what are you doing? Hearing him, she turned. The Demon King, the 4 generals, and all the adults are working to farm, so I want to help. He smirked. What a foolish, low-tier demon kid. The field beside me's already tilled. What's the point? Unfazed by the insult, Flute replied politely. Really? Thank you, sir. I'll till the field and set up a lightning rod. Azuret grinned at her. Oh, great. I feel rewarded already. Raising an eyebrow, he added, You think tilling a bit of dirt or farming this wasteland will work? Those damn potatoes, no matter how great, won't sprout. They say warming the storage makes them sprout faster, but everyone'll starve anyway. Flute, listening, grabbed her sack and scurried off. Thank you. Sprout potatoes. She dashed away. Azuret snorted. What the hell's she doing? Scene shift. At the grand castle atop a towering mountain, Zephyr trailed Kratos, whispering, I have doubts about this plan, Demon King. Even if Sathril knows it's a trap, will he come to save Fakamer? Kratos, of course not. Zephyr, I see. Kratos frowned slightly. First, I'll send subordinates until he's forced to leave his advantageous position and fight. We'll capture all of that wretched invader's people. We'll crush every one of the regions opposing me. Through the bird's crystal orb, Sathril watched smugly. Fool, you think you can keep defying my minions without consequence? Fakamer's fate is a pity, but my true goal is one. Destroy your crops. Go, cursed souls. The souls zipped to Kratos' storage, trampling and wrecking everything, slipping inside with ease. Kratos had anticipated this. The souls flinched at his voice. I knew the cursed souls would come. Welcome to your own grave. They hesitated, unnerved by Kratos' wicked grin. He thought, first time I faced these scavengers in the game, they were tough. Son's third army, they always group up. On physical contact, they latch onto players, aging them rapidly. Annoying monsters with the ability to copy the strength of anyone they touch. Now, there's a way to kill them. Hit them with lightning-based physical attacks. He taunted, "Who's getting roasted first?" The cursed souls, seeing the crackling lightning, panicked. "It's a trap, run." But it wasn't that easy. The real trap starts now. They rushed toward the storage door to escape, but it was coated in red blood. What's that? Blood. Kratos' blood, spread the previous night, now unleashed its power. Kratos radiated fierce aura, his body ablaze with dazzling light and surrounded by lightning. The bolts traced the blood on the door, spiraling into a pool, exploding violently, flooding the storage. Golden lightning surged like a torrent, sucking in the souls. Blood blast strike. Kratos bellowed. Now they can be hit with physical attacks. Deploy the farmer army. Instantly, farmers charged in with axes, hammers, hoes, all sorts, shouting, "Let's go." The souls, reverted to their original forms, looked on in terror. Kratos thought, though my friends look scrawny and unimpressive, together they're an unstoppable force. Charge, brothers. The farmers, burning with resolve, seized control in moments. Witnessing this, Kratos wondered, "Whoa, what's this? I feel like a cold, brilliant king leading an army into battle. Do I belong in this world?" Some zapped souls are still escaping. Kratos swiftly struck the remaining souls with lightning. "Gotta take them down myself." Just then, he noticed something under the potato pile. Flute, somehow, emerged from within. Kratos, stunned, eyes wide. "What? Since when?" A cursed soul lunged at her. The fighting farmers, seeing this, grew anxious. Kratos clicked his tongue. Definitely those guys. Only one thing to do. Reduce the escapees and save the kid. He grabbed a potato, hurling it, panicking. "I'm such an idiot. What good is throwing this? She'll die." Shockingly, the potato hit the soul's head. Its body coiled around the potato, turning from green to red. Kratos frowned, bewildered. The potato fell, sprouting tiny buds, rolling into the pile below. While Kratos was distracted, other cursed souls seized the chance to slip out. He stared at the potato. "Huh, that's a sprouted potato." Eyes widening. The temperature increase started their biological clock. He scooped Flute up, flashing a grin so sinister it couldn't get more demonic. "Great job, kid." Flute, pale with fear, trembled. Standing atop the potato pile, Kratos declared loudly, "Attention, farmer army. Sathral's attack plan is ruined." Now, he held up a potato from the ground. "Time to strike back." Scene shift to somewhere else. Where am I? Who am I? Azurat, exhausted, gazed at the blazing sky. What am I living for? "Oh, the sun's beautiful, the source of life. I'm grateful to face you." His stomach growled incessantly. "Oh, this is hunger. So I still crave to live." Just then, a voice called, "Lord Azurat." Flute, holding a bowl of small seeds, smiled. "Thanks to you talking about potato sprouts, everything went smoothly. We harvested tons of potatoes." Lord Kratos recruited a bunch of farmer soldiers and set off to plant potato seeds. Azurat's eyes widened at the bowl, his mouth agape. "Food. Food." Flute quickly realized, "You're hungry, aren't you? Here, take this." She tossed a seed at him, but it missed, hitting one of his eyes. He roared furiously, "I'll kill you if you try that again. Apologize one more time." After 2 seeds struck his eye, one finally landed in his mouth. Azurat had never felt such bliss, so delicious. Elsewhere, the system notified Kratos, "A portion of your Demon King's Legion feels peak happiness." Accumulated happiness points increased by 1. Current HP, 302. Kratos thought, "Huh? This time, including new members, the reward's 300 points. Plus 1 more, probably that kid. But who's the other one? Doesn't matter, more HP the better. Gotta save them for attacking Sathral." He shouted, "Farmer army, charge. For a bountiful harvest, we pray for all." They were preparing to assault Sathral's stronghold. Across a wooden bridge, 2 souls with axes chopped it down. The bridge snapped, and they laughed gleefully. "No bridge now. What do you do?" But unexpectedly, Kratos leaped from the other side. As he nearly climbed up, his body began to fall. The souls cackled. Idiot Kratos jumped right in and fell into the abyss. Fool. But life's not that simple. Their smiles vanished. Below, Kratos' body was buried in the dirt. The souls, baffled, couldn't understand what he was doing. His armor, somehow discarded, lay to the side. With a sharp gaze, he climbed swiftly, slipping back into the armor waiting for him. The souls, terrified, scrambled. So gross. Disgusting. Scary, scary, scary. Kratos turned, looking across the chasm, pointing at them. As planned, Zephyr nodded subtly, understanding. Kratos charged inside, thinking, as my brilliant guess predicted, those soul creatures must be terrified of potatoes. But what if I charge in without potatoes? Sathril, inside, knew Kratos was coming. Alone, without his cursed souls, he sneered, "Come on. One touch from my souls, and we win." Instantly, a swarm of soul creatures rushed Kratos. Ultimate move, super quantum shift. His body and armor split. Kratos' body burrowed deep into the earth, while the armor moved behind. His bare form slipped through the soil. The souls, witnessing this, screamed in fear. Ugh, that movement's disgusting. Since when can he phase through walls? He's on the upper floor. Catch him. One touch and we win. They chased, but couldn't match his speed. No way. The Demon King vanished in a blink? Kratos thought, 19 playthroughs total. I know every corner of this map. Sweep every area they appeared in the game, as I know. Wait for them to group up, then take them all out. Moments later, Kratos stopped, re-equipped his armor, standing in the center. The soul creatures surrounded him. He exhaled softly. They seized the chance, rushing in. He's exhausted. Even a Demon King has limits. Kratos glared. No, I'm no longer just a Demon King. I'm a veteran gamer. Zephyr shouted, commanding, "Sprouts." The farmer army emerged from wall crevices, hurling potatoes at the souls. Sprout, sprouts, sprout. The potatoes merged with the souls. Farmers, attack. Zephyr thought, I was skeptical at first, but this time, the Demon King's words were spot on. Earlier, Kratos instructed, while I heard them to one spot, Zephyr, lead the farmers along that map. Zephyr hesitated, eyeing the map. This is an abandoned ancient sewer system, a dead end, nothing there. Kratos grinned. No, it's a secret passage. Kratos' face hardened, thinking, after crossing the terrifying soul abyss, just before the final map, I found it. While scouring every corner in the last playthrough, I discovered this hidden path. What's this? Nothing? This stone door's so intricately made. Why is it different here? He swung his sword, slashing the door. It vanished, revealing a path to the first battle with Sathril. Back then, I thought, can't go up there? Turns out, after completing the exploration, you could return to claim the transformation elixir crystallized from the ancient giant's planting desire. Whoever consumes it changes form once, reflecting their deepest desire. Now, the happy farmers held sprouted potatoes. They're sprouts. We can plant now. Dyrok, unable to hold back, shed tears of joy. Wait, flute, we can live fully now. Kratos, silent, recalled a hazy memory. Jangchiol, our family's so hungry. Grandma will make sure you eat well tonight. Just wait a bit. Later, he saw his grandmother on a stretcher, taken to the hospital. Back to reality, Kratos growled. Anyone who dares block me from eating well and living peacefully, I'll deal with them. All called, Demon King. Kratos glared. You, go haul potatoes. This is my job. I've got it. Across, Sathril muttered, O great icy soul heart, guide more souls with your almighty frost. Grant me more troops and power. Suddenly, Kratos burst in from outside, smashing through stone. Sathril slowly rose. Kratos, how did you find this place? He snarled, You don't need to know. It's time to exterminate the pest. Sathril gritted his teeth, glaring at Kratos. Kratos, you fool. You think you can defeat me alone? His body coiled tightly. You haven't seen my true power yet. Kratos thought. No, I have. Exactly 19 times in the game. As a knight, I chased Sathril, who ran around the death cliff. I kept running into his minions. Finally, the knight cleared all the monsters in that area. He fled to this room, where the heart of the Frost spirit resides, a terrifying artifact said to be forged by an ancient dragon with its own life. That artifact binds the dead to the living world with soul-piercing cold. He used its power to summon minions, but before he could, I arrived, and the final battle began. That's when I saw his true strength. Sathril's body twisted, whipping up a fierce gust. He snarled, Kratos, you're strong, and that's why this fight. His form contorted violently, morphing into an exact replica of Kratos, will be my victory. Kratos wasn't fazed. He'll activate mimic mode, copying all my stats. His character maxes out based on my current stats, with devastating attack power and near-impossible evasion. A single graze, and he'd one-shot me. But the version he's copying is a weakened Demon King Kratos. He grinned wickedly, which means he's not that strong. I'll boost my stats after he mimics. Sathril charged, ready to strike, but Kratos used HP to upgrade his stats. HP from 30% up by 10%, magical power from 20% up by 10%, strength, agility, and magic all from 20% up by 10%. Current HP, 302. System. You've spent 50 HP to upgrade agility. Agility from 20% to 30%. With this, Kratos effortlessly dodged the attack. He slammed a kick into Sathril's gut. The old man teared up in pain but swung a fist. Kratos used 50 HP to boost strength from 20% to 30%. He countered with his own fist. Their punches collided, and Sathril recoiled in agony. That hurt. Why are you unscathed? Kratos smirked tauntingly. Farming takes brains too. Sathril, furious, cursed, damn it. Kratos kept spending HP. System. You've spent 50 HP to upgrade magic from 20% to 30%. You've spent 50 HP to upgrade intelligence from 20% to 30%. Kratos waved, unleashing a blinding bolt of lightning at Sathril. Unable to dodge, Sathril was zapped, writhing in pain. His body melted into a slimy puddle, collapsing motionless. System. You've used HP to upgrade all stats once more. Stamina 30%, all other stats, magical power, agility, magic, at 30%. Strength upgrade quest completed. Unlocked new skill reward. Summon Farmer King's throne. Activation condition, 100 HP. A throne for the Farmer King, equipped with sturdy, durable farming tools. Kratos read it, thinking, oh nice. I could really use some new tools. It seemed over, but the puddle stirred. Sathril groaned. You think it's done? Kratos replied flatly. Yeah. Your second phase transformation is pretty weak. Sathril's body morphed into a massive dragon. This is my true power. Ancient evil dragon. Kratos feigned awe. Whoa, it's impressive up close. That attack power and vitality are unreal. He's really a mid-tier boss. But he grinned, calling Ball. Ball smashed through the door, leading the farmer army. I'm here with plenty of backup, didn't you know? Sathril, barely posing for seconds, sweated. Wait, maybe we should talk. No such luck. The army charged, wielding hoes, shovels, and all sorts of weapons. You dared mess with our farmland? Die. Sathril begged, spare me. Kratos ignored him, thinking, I wanted a fair fight, but he's too arrogant. Killing him with my own hands makes sense. Why won't he surrender? If I attack smarter, he'll fall faster. He activated his new skill, Summon Farmer King's throne. A green beam shone from the sky into the room. An intricately crafted wooden throne, carved with farming tools, slowly descended, slamming into the ground. Kratos blinked. The throne's weight cratered the floor, kicking up dust. The farmers, wary, then cheered. That's our Demon King. Not only crushing that half-dead thing, but landing a final blow to its head. So brutal, so savage. Demon. This is the true Demon King. We lowly ones could never do that. Amazing, Lord Kratos. Amazing, Lord Kratos. Kratos couldn't help but join the cheers, but thought, I didn't mean to do that. Meanwhile, at the field where Fakamir and Azurat were strung up, Fakamir's body twitched. His soul detached. I'm reborn. All fields are tilled, potato sprouts are thriving. Even pests threatening the crops are dealt with. Time to plant potatoes. The crowd burned with resolve. Just then, the heart of the Frost spirit trembled. Kratos frowned, turning back. System. Death Cliff, Shirun, defeated 20 times, including 19 prior game runs. A hidden event is triggered. The heart slowly split open, icy mist flooding the room. The trapped power within the Frost spirit's heart awakened. The heart cleaved in two, the cold intensifying. Kratos approached, asking, What's that? A tiny dragon struggled out from within. It locked eyes with Kratos, smiling, letting out a soft chirp. Confused, it chirped again. Kratos, with his robust frame, slowly approached the tiny dragon. He thought, what is this creature? He reached out to pick it up. The dragon frowned, chirping, I hatched in darkness, terrified all that time. Now, I'm lucky to meet someone like you. Life's full of surprises. Kratos flashed an utterly sinister grin, saying, "So cute." The dragon, seeing this, trembled in fear. "Daddy." The other farmers roared wildly, "Eat it. Munch, munch. Let's eat. Let's eat." Kratos snapped, "Idiots. Raise it bigger, and we'll have more meat." The dragon, understanding human speech, teared up. "Daddy wants to eat me?" After leaving the tower, Kratos said, "All right, outside. The other villagers are waiting." "Daddy, the farming team's back. Look, so many potato sprouts have grown. Amazing. Everyone did great." Dyrok rushed over, hugging Flute tightly. Others joyfully gathered with their families. The dragon watched, wide-eyed. "Wow, the atmosphere here is so warm. They're not scary." It looked up at Kratos, but his terrifying grin shattered that thought. "Eek. No. Daddy's too scary." Scene shift. At the Demon King's palace, the dragon cowered in a corner, sneaking glances behind. Kratos sat on his throne, eyes locked on it, exuding a menacing aura. The dragon spun around. "They're waiting for me to grow so they can eat me." But Kratos was actually wondering, would I feed this thing? "I heard baby dragons eat crafted gems, but we don't even have a single gem here, just piles of rusty metal." Zephyr approached, saying, "Lord Demon King, a report from Lorem Sam. As expected, we're struggling to build planting ridges." Kratos rubbed his temples, of course. For farming, you need to mound soil high between furrows or empty ridge edges. Raised ridges help plants drain water, preventing rot. But this land has too many rocks, it's hard to dig. Exhausted farmers groaned, "We're doomed. My hoe can't break the soil no matter how much I dig. Why so many rocks?" The dragon, cradled in Kratos' arms, frowned, thinking, are they all slaves? Will I be forced to work to death like them? Kratos, oblivious to its trembling, mused, "This isn't a field, it's a rock-strewn wasteland. At this pace, it'll take a lifetime to clear the stones. Even with this many people daily, our food reserves for rewards will run dry too fast. Even if other lords send reinforcements, it won't solve the problem." He furrowed his brow. "If only I could summon a beast to work like story protagonists. If only something, like a dragon, could clear these rocks for me." Kratos noticed Flute, young as she was, tirelessly turning soil, doing her best to help. He watched her silently, thinking, enough complaining. I have to find a way, no matter what. Farming always has endless unexpected problems. Suddenly, shouts rang out, "Tornado." A massive whirlwind approached, growing dangerously close. Kratos gritted his teeth, thinking, damn, I forgot. The blade wind randomly sweeps through this desert. If caught, it'll tear you to shreds, instant death. He yelled, "Evacuate. Hide now. Behind rocks, into shaded areas. Move your feet." Everyone scrambled to safety. Kratos ran. Damn, it's still far, but the wind pressure's already this strong. The pressure I felt in the game was nothing. But Flute suddenly ran against the crowd. Kratos frowned, watching. She headed toward Azurat, still strung up. Dyrok saw her, rushing out, "Flute." Kratos dropped to his knees. "Ugh, that kid again." He handed the dragon to Dyrok, chasing Flute, "Protected. No one follow me. I'll save the kid." Ball shouted, worried, "Lord Demon King, it's too dangerous. You'll die if you go in." Kratos ignored him, pushing forward, "Lorem Sam, we can't lose the lightning rod or a valuable worker. Farming's never been about leisurely picking pears and apples during breaks." Azurat saw Flute, scowling. "What can you do?" "Get lost." But she struggled. "I want to lift the pole. Farming is surviving tough times, a battlefield to overcome." Kratos shouted, "Get back, kid." He kicked hard, snapping the pole in two. Azurat, bound, lost balance, crashing to the ground. The tornado was nearly upon them, leaving small cuts on Kratos' face. Flute cried in pain but still tried to untie Azurat. He snarled, "This knot could bind the 4 heavenly kings." "Idiot, you can't untie it. You're useless. Get out of here." Kratos scooped Flute up, slinging the pole with Azurat over his shoulder. The dragon watched, frowning. "I sense the strength of a living being. Daddy isn't that strong." Kratos' face grew more scarred, but he pushed on, carrying 2 burdens. Though strong, he was exhausted. The tornado closed in, its terrifying winds sweeping everything away. Despite Kratos' speed, how could he outrun a twister? Finally, he collapsed, risking his life to save others. The dragon wriggled free from Dyrok's grasp. "My daddy is a kind being." It zipped to Kratos, inhaling deeply, exhaling a thin layer of ice. The ice visibly slowed the tornado. Kratos frowned, straining to look. The cold weakened that twister's gust. The dragon kept spewing icy breath, but it was too much for it. The tornado still advanced, obliterating everything. Ball, Dyrock, and Zephyr each grabbed someone, running to safety. At the Demon King's cliffside manor, in a room untouched by sunlight, Kratos lay unconscious on his bed. Soft footsteps echoed through the silent estate. Sergei and Hartok ascended the stairs. Hartok glared. Now that the Demon King's down, I'll sever his head. Sergei chimed in, and after crushing that fool ball in Azurus, one of us will become Demon King. Until then, we're allies. Kratos' door creaked open, and the two stepped inside. Just as they prepared to strike, they froze. Kratos' eyes were wide open, glaring at them, his pupils a murky red, mouth agape. Both trembled, unable to act. Hartok blurted, "Damn it. He knew we'd come and waited with eyes like that. But this is our only chance." Suddenly, Ball and Azurus' voices rang out. "What are you two doing?" Ball growled, "The Demon King's sleeping. Don't wake him." Hartok frowned. "That's a sleeping face? Truly a Demon King." Ball threatened, "If you dare wake him, Ball won't let it slide." Hartok eyed him, annoyed. "I get you, you big oaf. But Azurus, you're siding with this farming-crazed lunatic too." Azurus smirked. "Not exactly. I owe him one, so I'm repaying it now. Next time, I might be on your side." Hartok pressed, voice low. "Don't you think so? Just planting one potato has caused endless trouble. Don't you see farming will fail, and everyone will starve?" Azurus recalled Flute, diligently digging with a shovel, her scarred, calloused hands unlike a child's. "More serious than ever," he said. "To avoid starving, you risk your life." "Fine, it's a gamble either way. I'd rather work than fight you lot." Hartok scoffed. "You'll regret this, you pathetic fools." They trudged out of the room. Just then, Kratos' voice emerged. He murmured, "The Demon King's awake." He blinked groggily at them. Azurus grinned. "Humph, hear that? I'm not on anyone's side. Just paying a debt, that's all." Before he finished, Kratos cut in. "What kind of lightning rod wanders around talking?" Azurus froze, baffled. A blinding bolt of lightning surged through the manor, followed by a piercing scream. Ball hauled Azurus' smoking body away, while Kratos burned with resolve. No time to waste. "Everyone, keep clearing rocks." Ball replied, "Almost all the rocks are gone, sir. Zephyr's tilling the soil." Kratos blinked, "Huh." Before him, farmers toiled under the scorching sun, turning the earth. He called softly, "Hey, Zephyr." Zephyr turned. "The Demon King's awake? How'd you clear all the rocks?" He pointed ahead. "Rocks? Over there." Not far off, the tiny dragon hovered, mouth stuffed with stones. It gulped them down, thinking, "I'm too small to stop the blade wind tornado. I'll eat tons, no pickiness, to grow fast." On the ground, Kratos shouted, "Lil, Ember." The dragon recognized its dad, zipping into his arms. "Lil, Ember, you're too cute." He calculated silently, blade wind doesn't come often, and it'll take time for it to grow. Lil, Ember can scout from above and shoot ice to stop it early. Bit of a hassle, but we don't have weather forecasts here. The field's nearly ready. Time to handle the potatoes. Zephyr asked quietly, "Our bonus fertilizer supply is running low. Should we make more?" Kratos shook his head. "No, not needed. Farming's first enemy is natural disasters, then financial pressure. Those are the walls we must overcome." Scene shift. Inside the manor, in a room, Sergei sat before a mirror, slowly removing her headpiece. She sighed, taking off the helmet to reveal a beautiful face with long, golden hair. She muttered, "It stinks. I refused field work and stayed inside for days, but the smell won't go away." A knock sounded. "Sergei, I need to talk." She frowned, thinking, "Huh? The Demon King? He's never come to my room." But she replied, "What is it?" "I've got nothing to say. I really need you. Open the door." She snapped, fuming, "Don't say things that could be misunderstood." He insisted, "Not seeing each other causes misunderstandings. Please leave, or I'm coming in." They bickered back and forth. Finally, Sergei shouted, "I said there's nothing to talk about." Turning, she saw Kratos, stark naked, phasing through the door. She screamed in horror, "Oh my God. Unbelievable. Are you insane? How dare you barge into a lady's room like this?" Kratos didn't answer, suddenly kneeling before her. Sergei, confused, "What are you doing?" He spoke softly, "Sergei, without you, I can't do anything." She stared, her face slowly flushing. Kratos thought, "I'll kneel to save costs. Right now, I need her sharp, precise sword. Sergei, blushing, stammered, if you put it like that. I'll listen. What is it? She thought, seriously, why's he acting like this? Has he actually lost it? Moments later, Sergei, geared for battle, stood with Credos before a potato pile. He frowned, cut the potatoes for me. I need you to slice them precisely in half for planting, since you've got plenty of hands. Sergei froze, tears of rage welling up. You played me? You jerk. You perverse demon king. Seeing Sergei's fury, Credos patiently explained, this task is simple. From now on, we'll cut potatoes, but there's a trick. Each potato has a different number of sprouts, right? If it has 3 or fewer, don't cut. If more, cut so the eyes are evenly split between halves, got it? If it has too many, just ensure one side doesn't get all the sprouts. Cut however, as long as it's balanced. After explaining, Credos held a potato, saying, all right, if you understand, potato, catch. Sergei glared, fuming. I never said I'd do this. Ignoring her complaints, with a sharp gaze, he tossed the potato at her, shouting, potato, catch. Though reluctant, as the potato flew, Sergei's hands drew 2 ice blades from their sheaths, for gleaming swords extending from joints on her back. She sliced them with a flurry of storm-like cuts. Seeing the sprouts evenly divided, Credos shouted, ox it. He approached the potatoes on the ground, picking up pieces, marveling, damn, how do you cut so precisely? Credos turned, smirking slyly at Sergei, as expected. No one but you could do this. His words left Sergei dazed. Then she yelled, you think I'll fall for that flattery? You deceitful, vile, cheating sycophant. Hearing this, Credos' anger flared, his eyes glaring at her, making her think she was doomed. But no, Credos, our demon king, was a master actor. He gently grasped Sergei's wrist, making her stammer, what's this bastard Credos up to? Then, he took each of her swords, dipping them carefully in water, wiping them clean with a cloth, doing so with loving, meticulous care. Sergei seemed to experience the greatest shock of her life at this bizarre act. She stuttered, what? What are you doing? Credos replied softly, your blades are covered in dirt and potato juice. I'm cleaning them, obviously. Seeing him like this, Sergei thought, shaken, this demon king, this bastard, he's insane. Look at his expression. Why does this act feel so sincere and charming? He's lost it. What's happening to him? Meanwhile, Credos thought, perfect, spotless. When cutting potatoes, it's best to sterilize the blade each time, or bacteria or viruses could stick, spreading to other potatoes. You've got to wipe it with sincerity and care. Here, Credos put on a sincere face, asking Sergei, can you help me process this potato pile? You're the only one who can do it quickly and efficiently. As if hooked, Sergei said softly, fine, if you put it that way, I'll help this once. Hearing this, Credos dashed outside, turning back, great, I'll grab some bait and nectar. Tonight, we're drinking till we drop. Meanwhile, Hartok, outside, overheard the commotion, growing suspicious. Credos said, all right, raise your hand. Sergei snapped, hey, aren't you tired? Credos replied, there's a song for moments like this to boost morale. While wiping Sergei's swords, he sang, oh Tien Lai, can I stay here? Don't you know, it's pouring outside. So lonely. Oh Tien Lai, I just want you safe. Holding hands tightly, lips meeting, sitting on a hillside. Hartok, hearing this, fumed, thinking, Sergei, you foolish, lowly thing. You'd slave away for a few compliments. The scene shifted to a lightning rod. Azurus, questioning existence, was mentally broken. What's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of this life? Why does a lightning rod live? Is a tortured life worth living? Just then, Flute approached, saying, Lord Azurus, the adults saved some Junio. Her face lit up, let's play Junio toss. Azurus, exhausted, said, hey, kid, you think I, Azurus, one of the 4 heavenly kings, would play with a lowly demon like you? Step closer, and I'll smack your head. Ignoring him, Flute kept tossing seeds at his face, driving Azurus mad. Hey, you idiot, you can't even aim right. Here, like this. Can't you do it? Seeing Azurus like this, Hartok was utterly disillusioned, thinking, he's completely broken, beyond saving. Lost in thought, a loud shout echoed, Farmer Army. The seed potatoes are cut and dried. Ball, carrying a huge sack of seeds, walked with Credos, advancing. He shouted, we'll plant potatoes in this field. Seeing Ball, Hartok shook his head. This guy's always a dimwit. And that Azurus too. I can't rely on these fools. Some demons in the Farmer Army bowed to Sergei. Thank you. Sergey, thanks to you cutting these potatoes, we can plant them. Thank you so much. Sergey blushed, shy, but barked, Scram. I didn't do it for you lot. Keep dreaming. Yet, her heart stirred. She thought, why am I acting like this? What of the four heavenly kings, moved by thanks from these lowly demons? Seeing the demons rejoice over the seeds, she scoffed, you're really thrilled over these seeds? As demons, aren't you ashamed? On the other side, Hartok grew angrier seeing the demon's behavior. He vowed, Hartok, a demon of great intellect, will one day topple the demon king. Watching the demons sow seeds, Kratos declared confidently, keep planting. Soon, cacti will sprout leaves and bloom, sweet water filling the rocky plateau, the day the demon king returns home. He added, when that happens, we need to wink. While interrupted, I'm great at winking. Whose eyes do we gouge first? Kratos snapped, forget eyes and shut up. Kratos raised his hand, saying, one seed potato can grow at least 3 sprouts, up to 5 or 6. Pointing at the farmers, the question is, more or fewer sprouts? Which is better? The demons shouted, more is better. More is better. Kratos sternly corrected, wrong. Fewer is better. Hartok, leaning against a nearby tree, muttered, pathetic. Why learn this nonsense? 2 demons near him asked, why's that? More's always better, right? They added, the demon king must have misspoke. It's more is less. Hearing this, Hartok sighed, grinding his teeth. Idiots, useless fools, get lost. The 2 turned, asking, why, sir? Hartok, exasperated, you brainless, stunted morons. If there are too many sprouts, they'll suck up all the nutrients while growing, and the potato we eat won't get enough. Got it. Hearing Hartok's explanation, Kratos, surprised, turned, how do you know the exact answer? Where'd you learn farming? Hartok sneered, why learn something so basic? Sprouts and roots are linked, sharing nutrients obvious, isn't it? Kratos was stunned. He asked, so, how many sprouts are best? Hartok, eyes closed, smug, obviously about 2. Why ask? If you only consider nutrient efficiency, you might think one's best, but if that sprout breaks by accident, the potato could die. You didn't think of that? Kratos pressed, when they sprout, what's next? Hartok, though annoyed, explained, this is prepared soil for healthy growth, right? With organic fertilizer, tilled for aeration. Everyone was shocked by Hartok's knowledge, listening intently. He continued, the soil isn't just good for potatoes, useless weeds will grow, stealing nutrients. So, we pull them. Just think a bit, and it's clear. Hearing this, Kratos went wild, shouting, clap. Clap. People. Unbelievable, he's a genius. Everyone applauded the farming genius, Hartok. His brows furrowed. As cheers grew louder, his silhouette against the tree quietly soaked in the admiration. Overwhelmed, he covered his mouth to stifle sobs, tears streaming down his cheeks. He thought, I never thought I'd be recognized as a genius. Kratos approached Hartok, chirping, Hartok, the wisest and most brilliant demon. From today, lead us as the farmer army's commander. Hartok fumed, thinking, don't think flattery will sway me. My intellect was born to kill and plunder, not farm. Seeing Hartok silent, Kratos played the sycophant, turning to the demons. What are you waiting for? Show respect to Hartok, the wisest in the demon realm. The demons raised their hands, chanting Genius Hartok. Long live Hartok. Hartok, livid, thought, these lowly, stupid demons. But for pride's sake, he reluctantly agreed, crossing his arms, stern, fine, since you insist, from now on, I'll lead you to glory. The demons jumped for joy, shouting, Genius Hartok. Long live Hartok. The system suddenly announced, you've won 4 psychological battles. Kratos questioned, psychological? What's that mean? The system continued, you saw Baal's abandoned childhood and made him your most loyal subordinate. Kratos blinked. When did I do that? It went on, you gave Azurus, who never had friends, a comrade, reducing his violence. You melted Sergei's heart, who never knew love. You sowed pride in Hartok, who craved recognition. Kratos just laughed silently. The system announced, you've unlocked a new skill, costing 200 happiness points. Display, new skill unlocked, blood gaze. See a target's near future, up to 6 hours. Targets can be living beings or objects. Kratos' eyes widened, stunned by the skill. The system cheered, even the sky. You can see if you want. Kratos grinned slyly. Whoa, so I can predict the weather? Scene shift to a village nestled somewhere between the wasteland and human territory, a haven for exiles. A man entered a room, asking, you're fully recovered, right? The other clasped his hands in gratitude. Such a relief. Young Master Elba, the man said. Durio, you've worked hard caring for me. In my next life, I want a healthier body. Durio replied, You know, if there's a next life, I'd want to be rich and become a noble. Elba laughed heartily. Haha, we're all chasing impossible dreams. Elba turned to Kim Chi. Our plan now is to return to the kingdom. Will you join us? Kim Chi's face darkened. I'm not sure. You know, I don't even remember who I am, and I'm not human. He continued. When I first arrived, the villagers were terrified of me. Where could possibly welcome me? The two showed sympathy, but Elba grinned. Maybe try changing your clothes. The three left the room. Durio sighed, seeing Kim Chi still in his outfit, only draped with a cloth. The clothing issue saddened Kim Chi, who thought, I'd love to change, but I can't take it off. It's fused with my body. Before leaving, Elba shook the village chief's hand. Thank you for your help. It's tough being exiled here. When I return, I'll report to the king how you and the villagers aided us. Witnessing this, Kim Chi reflected on himself. He was lost, searching for answers. He didn't know who he was, only following assigned tasks like a robot, his actions steeped in killing. Scene shift to Kratos' farm, where sprouting seeds prompted nearby demons to cheer. Awesome. So cool. The seeds are sprouting. Sergei and Ball were amazed that nearly all planted seeds had sprouted. Flute ran to the lightning rod. Beaming. Lord Azurat, they say the seeds sprouted. Azurat, annoyed, snapped. What's that got to do with me, you idiot? Kratos shouted. Everyone listen. Our next task is mounding. Turning to Hartok, he said, Genius Farmer Hartok, please explain this to these dimwits. Seizing the moment, Hartok said sternly, Mounding means covering the plant base with loose soil. This prevents growing potatoes from being exposed to sunlight. If exposed, their color changes, taste worsens, and sometimes they produce toxins even Junio can't handle. Yes, you could call them tainted potatoes. After explaining, Hartok wore a smug, dignified look. Kratos praised, Hartok's so profound. Everyone clapped wildly. Later, Kratos decided to test his new skill, blood gaze. He thought, time to check today's weather. Looking skyward, he shouted, Blood gaze, activate. The system announced, condition for blood gaze. Stare at the sky without blinking for 200 seconds. After a while, tears welled in Kratos' eyes. He sighed, what a skill. I might need sunglasses. Nearby demons, seeing him cry, whispered, Look, he's crying. Maybe he's happy the sprouts grew. After 200 seconds, the system reported, prediction successful. Next 6 hours, clear skies, white clouds, sparkling sunshine. Kratos turned to Lil Ember. Good. No tornadoes today. You can rest. While playing with Lil Ember, Rifos approached. Lord Kratos, I have a report. Kratos turned, curious. What's up? Spill it. Rifos said. Lord, Demon King Plinters 2 seeks you. Scene shift to Kratos' castle. La Flo bowed respectfully. I'm La Flo, right hand of Plinters 2. I'm here to meet you. He continued. Upon receiving your ceasefire and farming message, Demon King Raster 3 was displeased and attacked us. His goal is to rule the demon realm. Kratos fumed, thinking, these damn demons, guess I'll have to send him off. Rifos added, if Raster 3 defeats Plinters 2 and unites their regions, we'll be at a disadvantage. Kratos pondered, they're not too strong but numerous and ferocious. We need to strike first. But what about the farm? I can't neglect it. What to do? He calculated. Plinters 2's embattled territory is at the abyss of Doom's bottom, the rotting mid-swamp. Compared to the game map, the real world's 10 times bigger, insanely far. The abandoned well for power upgrades and teleportation in the game would have been perfect, but the one under the demon castle's broken. How can I farm and fight? After a pause, Kratos said, Wait, hold up. 2 seconds later, his sly grin emerged, thinking, Who am I? I'm the Lord of Demons. Why should a demon lord fight himself? Sergei, seeing his expression, snapped. Humph, don't misunderstand. I'm not fighting for the demon lord. Ball roared. I swear I'll do anything for you, Lord Kratos. Kratos thought. All right, Sergei and Ball will go to battle, along with demons bad at farming. Since this is a reverse route from the final boss area, there are cool shortcuts. We can reach the rotting mid-swamp fast. For farming, with me and auto-watering Hartok, it'll be fine. At the rotting mid-swamp, the scene was desolate, flames raging, as if after a brutal battle. Plinters 2 knelt before Raster 3, shouting, "You bastard! How dare you defy the demon lord and plot rebellion?" Raster approached. "Yes, I'm rebelling. But understand, if I don't, our demon race will face extinction." Plinters roared, "Spare me your excuses. Didn't Lord Kratos say we can make this land fertile, have ample food, without fighting humans?" Unfazed by Plinters' defiance, Raster snapped, "That's not the issue." He swung his mace at Plinters. "Our demon lineage takes pride in war. Always has. If you don't share that ideal, die." As the mace aimed for Plinters' head, an axe flew in, blocking Raster's strike. Raster 2 turned, frowning. "2 of the 4 heavenly kings are here." Sergei, sword in hand, stepped forward. "Raster, you're right. We're a warrior race, finding joy and pride in slaughter." She continued, "But since when did we become like this? Why did it come to this? Now I understand. Not killing but saving others might make us prouder." Meanwhile, Flute raced home, flinging the door open. "Dad, hurry to the field." When everyone reached the field, they were stunned. The scene was poetic, serene. Even Azurat, seeing it, teared up. Rifos and Hartok stood together, savoring the joy. Kratos, watching the demons play happily from afar, felt at peace. The demons always dreamed of the demon lord's rebirth, and that day had finally come true. Seeing Kratos approach, the little girl ran over, exclaiming, "Demon King, it's so beautiful. I've never seen anything like it." Kratos bent down, smiling. Across the field, Sergei charged into battle, slashing fiercely. Third King Raster couldn't hold out, screaming in agony. Tyrant Ball seized the moment, retreating to lock Raster's neck in a chokehold. Sergei rushed forward, unleashing a barrage of lethal strikes. "Here," Kratos softly replied to the girl. "Yeah, there's a lot. Those sprouts have all bloomed." "Over there," Third King Raster yelled in panic. Wait. You said killing's nothing to be proud of, that we should save people. Why act the complete opposite?" Sergei paused briefly. "Well, yeah. But you know, some have to die so others can live." With that, she resumed hacking at him. Raster wailed in torment. "Arg, I don't get a damn thing you're saying." "Here," Kratos barked orders. "All right, pluck all those useless flowers for me. Hurry up." His words shocked the farming demons and the girl. Azurat jumped up, cursing first. "Arg, cold-blooded demon king. I'll never forgive you." Hartok wiped sweat, muttering to feel moved by this scene. As expected of the demon king, he quickly commanded, "What are you standing there for? Pluck those flowers clean." Azurat raged again. "Arg, you dog. You bastard." The farming demons obeyed, but trembled, tears welling, gazing at the flowers in their hands as if they had life, wanting to cry. They pounded the ground, wailing, "We can't do it, Captain. We planted them ourselves. For the first time, something so beautiful bloomed on this land." Hartok explained rationally, "Obviously, if left like this, sunlight's nutrients will be drained to feed flowers and seeds. Don't you get it? This is the Demon King's ultimate strategy to channel all nutrients to the potato's growth." With no choice, the demons complied. Each flower they plucked brought immense pain. But Kratos laughed savagely, "Ha ha ha. I can hear the potatoes growing from here." The anguished demons sighed, truly the Demon King, finding joy in destruction. That evening, inside the castle, Sergei and Tyrant Ball returned, dragging the bound Third King, reporting, "Raster's been captured." Kratos, seated high, questioned, "See the consequences of rebelling? Even the first Star King was defeated. What could you achieve?" Raster remained defiant, "Kill me. A demon who's lost a warrior's pride is better off dead." Kratos obliged instantly, "Fine." Bloodburst struck, but Raster sneered, taunting, My skin's like armor. That was a mosquito bite." Kratos grinned, delighted. "Oh, really? Totally weak. Whoa, I found something super useful. Tada, the 3rd-generation lightning rod is born." He tested Bloodburst again. Raster screamed in agony, "Just kill me." Kratos ignored him, pointing at Azurat, ordering, "Hey, someone, untie the 1st-gen lightning rod. He's been recovering poorly lately. Time for retirement." Azurat was stunned. "What?" The ropes were cut, tossed aside. Azurat collapsed. The girl rushed over, Lord Azurat. But as she neared, a menacing laugh echoed. Azurat, like a fiend, glared at her, growling, "You lowly demon, mocking me all this time? Huh? I'll tear you apart." Then Kratos. The girl, naive, tried to back away, but Azurat's aura surged, ready to pounce. Yet, as he stepped, he slipped, sprawling before her. He cursed under his breath, "Damn it, it's been too long since I walked." Worse, Tyrant Ball added, Azurat's regressed to an infant state. Azurat, defiant, snapped back. "Where'd you pull that fancy term from, you nutcase?" Ball ignored him, hoisting Azurat up, making him panic. "Stop. What the hell? Don't carry me like a princess." Ball, dead serious. "This is the Demon King's order. Stay still." Azurat, flushed with shame. "This is humiliating. I won't forget this disgrace." Kratos watched them leave, thinking, I worried he'd go berserk, but with blood gaze, I saw he'd be immobile for 6 hours, so I released him. Waving, he commanded, "The harvest is near. Speed up the work." Seeing everyone dive in, Kratos was pleased. Sergei's rapid weed pulling wiped out the flower garden in a flash. Hartok's awakened irrigation skill made watering effortless. Few dried potatoes remained, and worker payments dwindled. Though used to hunger and fasting, they were visibly gaunt. Just then, a plant-like figure approached, Lord Demon King. Kratos turned. "Huh, who are you?" Second King Plinters knelt gratefully. "I'm here to thank you for saving us." Kratos, skeptical, froze. "Thanks." The scene terrified Plinters, who thought Kratos was furious. Kratos grumbled inwardly, "This jerk thanks me empty-handed? Normally, people bring a crate of booze or ginseng." Plinters stammered, I'm rallying Third King's troops in mine. I'll send workers soon." Kratos sighed, "Fine. They don't even have food. I'm too used to Korean customs. Potatoes will roll out. Man, I want us cranking out tons of dried potatoes soon. I want to see them eat heartily. Why did I even start farming?" Plinters, seeing Kratos silent, excused himself. "I'll gather the troops now." Kratos snapped back. "Huh? Yeah, go." Watching him leave, Kratos mused, "That guy's a low-difficulty final boss with a backstory bland as distilled water. He whines everywhere that might makes right, blindly loyal to Kratos. Well, being plant-based, he'll be useful for farming." Meanwhile, Plinters ran across Kratos' fields, his feet trembling, sensing the land's richness. "This soil's brimming with nutrients, unlike anything I felt in the decay swamp. As a seedling, my land had no sustenance to keep me alive. But here, on soil tilled by Lord Kratos, a demon king, I can thrive. Here, I could become a demon king." With that, he leaped into the abyss below, letting his myriad roots plunge deep into the fertile earth. The next morning, as the sun rose, Kratos bellowed, "Formation. Demons, morning exercise, get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After one set, he paused, watching the demons chant on their own. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kratos switched to another routine. 1, 2, 3, 4. He marveled inwardly. At first, this lot was a chaotic mess, but now they follow my commands perfectly. Demon physique is something else. They keep up even with sudden orders. He shouted, "Roll left. Roll." The demons complied instantly, not missing a beat. He continued, "Roll right. Roll." He drilled these exercises because basic stamina was essential for grueling farm work. Now they'll train on their own without me forcing them. Just then, Tyrant Ball rushed over, yelling, "Demon King, big trouble. The potato leaves are all turning yellow." Kratos, unfazed, headed to the farm. Every potato leaf had yellowed. Hartok stood pondering, clueless on how to fix it. Zephyr squinted, muttering, "I knew it. Is this too much after all?" Sergei looked down, dejected. Hartok grumbled, "Even I don't know this sign. Not enough wind or water. TCH, what was I expecting from farming? Foolish." Seeing Kratos approach, Zephyr asked urgently, "Demon King, what's this?" Kratos stayed silent, crouching to inspect a potato row. Without hesitation, he yanked a plant, revealing roots laden with tubers. The sight stunned Hartok. "What?" "Pale, but huge. Double, no, triple the size of the original potatoes." Kratos' face darkened. "Should I say the potatoes have awakened? They've drawn nutrients from the leaves to grow bigger and tastier. You all worked hard. You've grown them right." They sighed in relief, eyes teary, too emotional to look up. Later, inside the Demon King's castle, Kratos reclined, staring at the ceiling. Familiar voices echoed in his mind. You did it. You grew them. Oh my, the cherry tomatoes are fruiting well. My dear Credos, you did great. The scene shifted to the day his grandmother was taken away. Credos, returning from school, rushed over but only caught her on oxygen, being wheeled off. His mind went blank. Sleepless nights followed. Pointless thoughts. Damn it, as a logical guy, I won't let emotions sway me. Soon, we'll have enough potatoes for everyone. But I can't let my guard down. Relying solely on potatoes, one blight could wipe us out, like Ireland's famine. Potatoes can ease things for now, but I need to find seeds for other crops fast. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. Credos sprang up, shouting, What the hell? Some construction going on. Before he finished, the floor cracked, a massive root bursting from below. Credos dodged, glaring upward. What the fuck is that? Outside in the fields, the girl saw the potatoes trembling, reassuring herself. Wait, the Demon King said they're just growing. He said the leaves wilt to help the potatoes develop. But the leaves fell faster. She dug frantically, screaming, No, something's wrong. Something was off. She pulled a plant with only a stem, no roots, stunned, no potatoes. Our potatoes. She meant to alert the adults, but as she ran, she froze, speechless. The Demon King's castle was ensnared by roots. Credos, limbs bound, was hoisted into the air. Second King Plinters' giant face emerged, sneering, You look like vermin, Demon King Credos. Credos jolted, You Plinters. Plinters laughed smugly. The fertile land and nutrient-rich potato fields you created, Demon King, made me this strong. Credos, dumbfounded, glanced at the ravaged potato fields. He couldn't hold back, snarling, You bastard. What did you do to our food? Plinters mocked, Got your balls yet? What can you do now? The roots flung Credos skyward, slamming him into the ground. The force was too much. He spat blood. Roots spread everywhere, sending the demon generals fleeing. Run. Save yourselves. Tyrant Ball, defiant, wanted to charge. Let go. I must save the Demon King. Others struggled to hold him back. Are you mad? We're still alive. No way he's down. Get over here. But Ball roared. No. He's too weak. I realized when I carried him. He's really weak. Across the field, debris rained down. Credos, buried under rocks by Plinters, sank into darkness. The scene left the four great demon generals stunned. Zephyrd, shocked, Is that Plinters? Second King, having dealt with Credos, turned and roared, Listen, you demons. Credos is dead. The demons froze, disbelieving, rooted in place. Little Bone Jelly wept in anguish. Second King's voice boomed. By the ancient demon law, strength is power. From this moment, I am the Demon King. Kneel before absolute authority. Hartok, irritated, thought, I figured Plinters absorbed all the soil's nutrients. Credos is dead. The strongest here is Plinters. Demons bow to the mightiest. They reluctantly knelt. Sergi, lips pursed, unwilling, but her knees bent in submission. Together, they shouted, We pay respects to the new Demon King of this land. Zephyrd stood rigid, glancing at them. Azurat yelled, What are you doing? Zephyrd, kneel. Zephyrd gritted his teeth, reluctant, but knelt. Second King relished the moment, looking down at them. Zephyrd, furious, tears streaming. Meanwhile, Credos sank into memories. He wanted to play hide-and-seek with his mother. No game today? This is that day. Am I dreaming? Credos, close your eyes tight, count from 1 to 10, then find Mommy. Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mommy, where are you? I can't find you. Mommy, come out. I'll count to 10 again, okay? You have to come out at 10. 8, 9, 10. Mommy, I counted to 10. I'm done, Mommy. Just then, the system flashed. Kim Credos, wake up. Credos, bloodied face, groggily opened his eyes. What? Did the system just call my name? Hey, system, where am I? Am I dead? The system displayed, move. If you can move, you'll live. Credos, helpless, slumped. Use a quantum jump glitch? No way. I can't budge a millimeter. There's no space to move. My hand can move. I'll dig, bit by bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. 9, 10. His voice echoed in the dark. Outside, Second King bellowed. Zero, step forward. Zephyrd approached respectfully, Sir. With utmost loyalty, I greet the Demon King. Second King ordered, Record this grand first step clearly. From now, our demon race will invade humans. We'll crush them and turn them into livestock for meat. The demon generals fell silent, sighing, back to square one. Well, it's fun. I can fight and kill freely now. Demons have always lived like this, as long as we're fed. But why does this make my blood boil? In the abyss, counting continued steadily. 6, 7, 8. Credos grew frustrated. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Outside, second king rallied. Demons, take up arms. We marched to war. The demons stayed mute. Zephyr, lips tight, looked up, objecting. Lord Demon King, we can't march yet. Second king glared down. The generals tensed, looking up. Zephyr reported clearly, our only food now is a few small potatoes. With that, how can we wage war? This left second king speechless, snapping, you idiot. We have enough food. As he spoke, a small root shot out, swiftly wrapping around the little girl, hoisting her up. Her father screamed in anguish. Azurat looked up. Second king ignored them. Aren't there plenty of weak, useless demons to eat? The girl screamed in terror. No, we're not like that anymore. We can live without eating each other. Our Demon King. Demon King Credos said he'd make it happen. Mid-sentence, second king's glare silenced her. The root released, dropping her into the dark abyss. Below, Credos stopped clawing, exhausted. My heart's slowing. If I die, they'll starve. He rasped, blood strike. Credos hit himself, jolting his heart. Despite the pain, he refused to give up. I can't stand seeing anyone go hungry. His hand regained feeling, clawing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Outside, second king glared down, only to see the girl saved by Azurat, cradled in his arms. Beneath the earth, Credos struggled to escape. He used shock pulse again to stay conscious, digging while screaming internally, too hard. This is too damn hard. His hand clenched. How much further? Am I even going the right way? Exhausted, he collapsed. Will what I'm doing even work? Above ground, everyone sweated as Azurat risked his life to catch the girl, cradling her. Second king Plinters loomed, snarling. What are you doing? Azurat, you dare defy me. Azurat didn't answer, trembling in fear but holding the girl tightly. Seeing his silence, Plinters raged. Knowing he was doomed, Azurat stammered. No, no. This is my food reserve. Biting her head lightly, he said. I've had my eye on her for a while. I'm saving her to eat fresh. Azurat's excuse didn't convince. Plinters lashed out with a whip-like root. Thwack. Azurat was struck on the rear, the blow sending him flying 500 meters. As he soared past Sergei and Ball thought, Golden Lotus must be watching Azurat's disgrace. Seeing Azurat unconscious, Zephyr fumed but stayed silent. Plinters bellowed, I'll say it once more. Prepare for the war to invade humans. Zephyr, after a moment's thought, shouted, That's impossible. There's no just cause for this. A sharp branch shot toward him. Just as it neared his chest, an axe appeared. Ball blocked the attack in time. Seeing Bales move, Plinters seethed. Ball hugged Zephyr, explaining, the Demon King assigned that task to Zephyr. If he dies, who'll count the potato harvest? Plinters, livid, roared, You there? Trying to start a rebellion? Hartok couldn't hold back. Rebellion? That's absurd, Demon King. He frowned. We believe the agricultural initiative Lord Credos established and completed is a more rational order to follow than invasion. Sergei added, I have a question. Demon King, you proposed a path where no one dies. Why wage war when there's another way? Plinters, unable to tolerate this, shouted, Too noisy. So annoying. Unleashing his power, he declared. My decision is final. My word is law. Hartok retorted, Absolutely not. They surged with power, ready to fight. Hartok stressed, Authority must have a rational basis. The farmer demons boldly chimed in, Exactly. The Demon King is Lord Credos. Pay for ruining our potato fields, you thug. Unable to bear the insults, Plinters launched thousands of branches at the farmers. As they neared, Hartok used Mist Barrier, enveloping the group, deflecting the attack. Ball lifted Sergei with both hands, shouting, Attack. Full force. He hurled her skyward. Sergei's flurry of slashes severed Plinters' branches. Pressing the advantage, she charged at Plinters' head, yelling, I'll take your eye for my wine first. But life isn't a fairy tale. Before Sergei could strike, a massive branch slammed into her. Unable to withstand it, she plummeted into the abyss. Ball, entangled by vines, spewed liters of strawberry-flavored liquid. Hartok fared no better, crushed under Plinters' giant bulge, gasping for air. Splinters roared, "How dare you challenge the Demon King? Die. All of you must die. Only death will make you realize I'm greater than that pathetic Kratos." Splinters' branches whipped wildly, sending farmers flying. He continued, "You call him our Demon King? That cowardly wretch died without a whimper." Nearly everyone was knocked out. Splinters swung a massive branch at Zephyr, shouting, "What's so great about him? What makes Kratos better than me?" A voice rang out, "Great question, you bastard. Who gave you permission to touch my subjects?" The voice, laced with murderous intent, froze Splinters, chilling his spine. A bloodied hand broke through the ground. With one hand, Kratos caught the massive branch aimed at Zephyr. A single punch shattered it. Splinters, eyes wide, doubted his ears, screaming, "No way. You bastard survived." Seeing Kratos alive, Zephyr felt an uncanny sense of safety. The system announced, "On the brink of life and death, you've unlocked a new skill." 10 minutes earlier, as the faint light of life dimmed in Kratos' eyes, he lay on the brink of life and death, his body battered, breath faint like a passing breeze. In that moment of despair, Kratos burst into a harsh, bitter laugh. "Ha ha ha, what a cruel fate." But the laughter quickly faded. He grew solemn, his gaze lost in the void. His voice dropped, muttering to himself, "Too hard. I can't do it anymore." Suddenly, a cherished memory flooded his mind, the image of his kind grandmother, her smile warm like spring sunshine. Kratos was pulled back to the past, to a quiet evening after school. As Jiangxiol, he returned to their small home, curling up in a corner. His arms hugged his knees, muttering, "It's too hard, too hard." He looked up into his grandmother's loving, heavy eyes, his voice thick with frustration. "Why do we have to live like this, Grandma?" Hearing her beloved grandson's complaints, she paused, her aged eyes seeming to peer through a lifetime of hardship. Slowly, she pulled a tiny, dry seed from her pocket, placing it in her wrinkled palm. Her voice, warm and steady, resounded, "Because you're a seed, Jiangxiol. Everyone in this world is a seed. No matter how barren or dry the ground, some seeds pierce through and sprout. Seeing that sprout, other seeds find courage. Every seed will sprout eventually. And one day, that sprout will multiply, flourish, grow strong, and life will be greener." Her words were a long, philosophical sermon, but to Jiangxiol they sounded hollow. Anger flared. He shouted, voice breaking with rage, "Forget that nonsense. Why did my kind dad die from overwork? Why did my mom abandon me? Doesn't that mean I'm a rotten seed? Stop spouting that garbage." Tears streamed down his cheeks, his voice trembling with life's unfairness. "I'll only care about myself, like Mom. I'll succeed, eat, and survive alone." Time passed, and that memory seemed buried until Jiangxiol learned his grandmother lay dying, her breath faint like a flickering lamp. He rushed to the hospital, legs weak, heart-wrenching. Seeing her, tears poured like rain. Despite her frail state, she whispered lovingly, "Jiangxiol, my dear, we're all seeds." Hearing this, he sobbed uncontrollably, tears mixing pain and regret. He realized he'd lived selfishly, wasting precious time with her. Back in the present, on the edge of life and death, Kratos clenched his teeth, eyes blazing with unyielding fire. He triggered blood surge on himself again, his heart pounding as if to burst, clinging to his last breath. A cold voice echoed in his mind, "System alert. Kim Jiangxiol, you've endured the pain of death and rebirth. Your will and spirit have surpassed limits, unlocking a new system. Mana Seed system unlocked." Kratos froze, muttering, "Mana Seed? That's not in the game." The system continued, "Reward for 3 successful revivals. Your Mana Seed starts at level 3. The Mana Seed amplifies all stats by a fixed multiplier. Level 3 enhancement rate is 1.3x. Staring at the system panel, Kratos' eyes narrowed. He murmured, "All stats up 30%. Can I escape with this?" The system added, Mana Seed system optional skill, Nutrient Focus. Nutrient Focus concentrates all stats into one attribute, usable once daily for 10 minutes. Reading this, Kratos' eyes lit up, a spark of brilliance flashing through his mind. He scanned the panel. Stamina, will, strength, agility, mana, all up 30%. He roared, "Activate Mana Seed." Instantly, in the suffocating darkness, a glimmer of hope shone, like a flame igniting in the night. System alert. Mana Seed activated. Stamina, 39%. Will, 39%. Strength, 39%. Agility, 39%. Mana, 39%. Kratos gritted his teeth, shouting, "Nutrient Focus," into strength. His stats shifted rapidly. Stamina, 21%. Will, 23%. strength 94%, agility 21%, mana 22%. But he sensed it wasn't enough to break free from the Earth's grip. He growled, all in. System alert, stat adjustment, stamina 10%, will 10%, strength 155%, agility 10%, mana 10%. His body surged with energy, muscles exploding with power. He pushed against the ground, hauling himself upward. On the surface, in a desolate area, the earth split open. A bloodied arm emerged, then Kratos' towering figure, eyes burning like torches. Before him stood Plinters, a colossal enemy like a living mountain. Plinters gaped, roaring, Kratos, you survived down there? Kratos smirked coldly, voice dripping with disdain. Did I leave my face on display for you to miss, you mutt? Seeing the Demon King's return, the crowd erupted, chanting, Demon King Kratos lives. Our Demon King is back. The harvest thrives because of him. Their shouts echoed, Golden Harvest thrived because of him. A tiny dragon zoomed forward, crying, Papa, Papa. It nuzzled Kratos, tears glistening. Hartok, struggling on the ground, looked up, sighing in relief, thinking, what a relief, but Sergei, battered, worried. Plinters is too strong, Ball, leaning on Plinters' vines, thought, Demon King, can you win? Plinters sneered, this is better, Kratos. Right here, right now. I'll kill you, and all your minions. Kratos locked eyes with him, resolute. No, you won't touch a single one of us. He thought, no matter how big he is, his movements are like in the game. If I account for wider attacks, I can dodge. And my trained farmers aren't pushovers. He shouted, everyone, line up behind me. Prepare to drill. The farmers instantly formed neat rows behind him. As Plinters' vine struck, Kratos yelled, jump right. The group leapt, dodging effortlessly. Plinters, enraged, swung again. Kratos shouted, dive left. They followed, evading again. He continued, duck. They crouched, avoiding the next blow. Commands rang out, roll left. Keep rolling. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. They slammed the ground in unison. He yelled, brace. Then, jump. They dodged Plinters' attacks again. Plinters roared, furious, damn it. What's happening? Why can't I hit them? Kratos stepped back, lowering his stance, thinking good. Plinters' recovery is slow. This is my chance. He turned to the farmers, shouting, spin. They spun as ordered. Pointing at Plinters, he taunted, you idiot. You useless trash. Get lost. The insult enraged Plinters. He bellowed, countless vines erupting from the ground, his berserk state. Kratos grinned, thinking, perfect. The berserk state I was waiting for. Time to use real-world logic to take him down. He turned to the tiny dragon, shouting, go, Lil, Ember. The dragon soared, charging at Plinters' face. It inhaled deeply, unleashing a frost breath directly at him. Plinters froze, trembling as the cold hit. The temperature drop made his tissues contract, becoming brittle. His massive branches cracked and shattered with loud snaps. Plinters panicked, eyes wide. His giant arms crashed to the ground, shaking the earth. Kratos thought, this crazed beast can't take it anymore. He'll destroy himself. A sly smile curled his lips. Gazing at his colossal arms crumbling one by one, shattering and falling to the ground like rotten dry branches, Planus roared in fury, his voice thundering. What's happening to me? His blazing red eyes flashed with panic, his massive frame trembling as if on the verge of collapse. The little dragon, exhausted after unleashing its frost breath, fluttered back to Kratos' side. Its delicate wings quivered, its tiny body brushing against its father's hand, revealing clear signs of fatigue. It nestled into his embrace, panting, its glistening eyes brimming with tears. Kratos, despite his battered body, gently patted the dragon's head, praising, well done, Ball. Then he raised his head, his eyes burning with resolve, locking onto Planus. His voice, low but unwavering, declared, the final blow is mine. With that, Kratos lowered his stance, his feet gripping the cracked earth. He took a deep breath, channeling every ounce of strength left in him. With a powerful leap, he soared into the air, his fist clenched tightly, his cold gaze fixed ahead. A thought flashed in his mind. The tree's weakness, it's the wooden hollow in his chest. Fueled by that resolve, Kratos charged, delivering a devastating punch to the wooden hollow on Planus' chest. The blow exploded with force, like a mountain crashing into a cliff, shattering the hollow in an instant. A massive crack spread across Planus' chest, as if his entire body was being torn apart. Planus let out a deafening scream, his pained cry shaking the air. His enormous body began to disintegrate, chunks of bark raining down like a storm. Watching the scene, Zephyr, clutching the little dragon and young flute, looked up, his eyes sparkling with hope. He whispered, "The Demon King, he's won." But at that moment, a cold system notification echoed in Credo's mind. The duration of nutrient synthesis has ended. His body suddenly lost its strength, plummeting to the ground like a kite with its string cut. Gritting his teeth, he braced himself with his hands to avoid collapsing, his breaths ragged. Meanwhile, Planus, though his body was falling apart, continued to unleash chilling roars. His fiery red eyes slowly closed, then shut completely, like a final flame snuffed out. Zephyr, witnessing this, furrowed his brow and muttered, "His face, it's gone. Is he dead?" But then, Planus' massive body crashed to the ground, causing a tremendous quake. Credos, exhausted, looked up and sighed. Strange. In the game, his body would disintegrate and vanish. Why is he still there? Suddenly, a sense of unease tightened Credo's eyes. From beneath Planus, sharp, thorn vines erupted from the earth, intertwining like living veins. They coiled and merged, forming a new body for Planus. Seeing this horrific rebirth, Credos, sprawled on the ground, clenched his fists, cursing inwardly. Damn it! What now? I can't even move anymore. After a grueling reformation, the vines and branches fused, creating a complete body for Planus. He stood towering, his eyes blazing with madness. The crowd of peasant soldiers gritted their teeth, their faces pale with fear. Planus glared at Credos, his voice low but commanding. I absorbed a vast amount of nutrients at the brink of death. I focused a fraction of my power to forge this body. He stepped closer to Credos, continuing, I was once a seed cast into a rotting swamp. I grew into a cursed sprout. And now, having absorbed the power of the Demon King's domain, my mission is to drown this world in poison. He swung his arm, launching a devastating punch toward Credos, roaring, Die, Credos! Just as Planus' massive arm neared Credos, Ball charged forward, swinging his giant axe at Planus' head. The strike was powerful but left only a small scratch on his neck. Ball gritted his teeth, stunned by the enemy's resilience. Planus spun around, swiping his arm, and sending Ball flying dozens of feet, crashing to the ground in a cloud of dust. Sergi, without hesitation, drew her sword and charged. She unleashed a flurry of sharp slashes at Planus' neck, but he stood unmoved and scathed. He turned, landing a brutal punch to Sergi's stomach, making her scream in pain and collapse, clutching her wound. Hartok, diving from above, clenched his fist and struck Planus' neck with force. But the attack only startled him, causing no damage. Planus whirled, grabbed Hartok's head, and slammed him into the ground, bellowing, You wretched fools! It seemed their attacks were futile, but suddenly, countless tiny tears appeared on Planus' neck, causing his head to dangle. Azurat, standing behind, narrowed his eyes, then widened them, shouting through gritted teeth, May the harvest be bountiful. He charged, swinging his sword with a mighty slash at Planus' neck. The blade cut cleanly, severing his head, which rolled to the ground. As Planus' head detached, his body began to dissolve, turning into shimmering dust in the air. The remaining vines faded, carried away by the wind. His colossal form vanished, leaving a silent void. Above, tiny green specks of light, nutrients Planus had absorbed, hovered, slowly drifting down, returning to the earth. Credos, utterly spent, exhaled in relief, muttering, Those guys, they finished him. Everyone, from Ball, Sergi, Hartok, to Azurat, had fought to their limits to defeat Planus. Zephyr stepped forward, his voice solemn. Regarding the aforementioned acts of treason, I hereby confirm and record the victory of the Demon King's army. Hearing this, Hartok, despite his trembling body, raised his hand high and shouted, Demon King Credos. The peasant soldiers joined in, roaring in unison, Demon King Credos. Golden Harvest Credos. Their cheers echoed, as if tearing the sky apart. But Credos, his body broken, gritted his teeth, and struggled to stand. He bellowed, "Stop!" I said stop. His commanding voice silenced the crowd, plunging the air into suffocating stillness. He glanced at the potato field before him, now a desolate wasteland devoid of life. His eyes narrowed, heavy with thought. He bowed his head, lamenting, the whole field ruined. We'll have to start over. The thought pierced his heart. Will they go hungry again? After all that effort, do we really have to start from scratch? He clenched his teeth, blaming himself. No way. I can't let them toil like that again. Those around him watched in silence as Kratos kept his head bowed, as if searching for answers amid the wreckage. Suddenly, the green specks of light floating above began to descend. When one touched a withered leaf on the ground, the leaf trembled, as if infused with life. A new surge of vitality spread, filling the air with hope. A sudden memory flashed back in a damp, dark prison cell. Amid the hollow, exhausted demons worn down by life's harshness, a thought emerged in a young boy's mind. I just heard from that livestock overseer. He said the new demon king was appointed just a few days ago, right? The small, scrawny Zephyr, clad in tattered rags, huddled in a corner of this prison. His eyes vacant, he stared blankly in thought. So what? No matter who the demon king is, we're still just livestock. At that moment, a burly demon guard suddenly appeared behind the iron bars. His eyes gleamed fiercely, his mouth huffing heavily, startling and terrifying the prisoners. The demon guard jammed the key into the lock of the cell door. As soon as he nudged the iron door open, the wretched demons inside erupted into chaos, scrambling backward in panic. Screams of fear echoed everywhere. The demon guard suddenly halted, puzzled, looking downward. There sat the stubborn little Zephyr, frozen in place in utter despair, in stark contrast to the writhing mass of terrified bodies crowding behind him. The demon guard stared at him, then let out a heavy sigh. Zephyr remained rigidly still, like a statue. The demon guard abruptly grabbed him by the collar, yanking him up. He hoisted the tiny Zephyr high, his hand gripping a massive blade. Yet, despite the guard's savage actions, Zephyr showed no trace of childish fear, maintaining an utterly emotionless, soulless blankness. Seeing this demeanor, the demon guard grew irritated and swung the blade. As the cold steel was about to cleave the boy's frail body in two, Kratos appeared out of nowhere, clamping his hand tightly around the guard's head. Without a word, he coldly snapped the head from its neck. It was effortless, like plucking a small weed, but the force was so immense that the guard's massive body toppled backward. Zephyr was flung far away as well. Kratos casually tossed the useless head aside, letting it roll like garbage. He stood before Zephyr, his towering figure casting a shadow over the boy's emaciated form. He spoke, "Little one." Kratos narrowed his eyes at Zephyr, asking coldly, "Why didn't you tremble and beg for mercy?" Zephyr met his gaze directly, responding with complete calm, "Because I'm not scared. In fact, I feel relieved." The boy bowed his head to the ground, wearily continuing, "No matter how much I struggle, livestock has no path to survival. My best choice is to shorten the time spent trembling in fear, waiting for death. That's what I believe." Kratos, hearing this, smirked with amusement and praised, "You're different from the rest." Then, abruptly, he commanded, "Come with me. I appoint you as the new historian chronicler for the demon race." Finishing his words, Kratos turned away, not bothering to check Zephyr's reaction, and added, "It'd be a waste to let someone like you get eaten. We'll still have to eat demons like livestock for a while longer." The small Zephyr scrambled to his feet, staring blankly at Kratos's broad back. In that instant, Kratos made a declaration that the boy would likely never forget for the rest of his life. But one day, I, Demon King Kratos, will end the tragedy of devouring my own kind. The young Zephyr's foolish gaze followed Kratos, no longer hollow and empty, but ignited with a brilliant spark. The light of faith, hope, and fierce vitality. The small memory segment ended there. Back to the present, Zephyr was also staring dazedly at Kratos. His demon king lay prostrate on the ground in despair, helpless and self-blaming for failing to save the fields, the efforts, sweat, and tireless labor of his subjects. Zephyr pursed his lips tightly. Without a word, he turned away, his back to Kratos. Slowly, Zephyr bent down to pick up the hoe from the ground. This action left Hackban and so staring in bewilderment. Zephyr offered no explanation to anyone, nor did he console Credos with a single word. He simply swung the hoe to till the soil, under the astonished gazes of everyone. Hackban furrowed his brow deeply, silently watching him for a long while, then turned to the farming corps with a stern expression. He bellowed loudly. "Farming corps, what are you all standing around stunned for?" Deliberately putting on a fierce face, he barked gruffly. "Get your hands moving. Level the ground and start forming the ridges." Yet Flute and the rest of the farming corps showed no fear, instead surging with determination. They all raised their hoes high and charged toward Zephyr, who was tilling alone, with fiery zeal. Their fervent reaction left Credos momentarily stunned. He watched in bewilderment as the farming corps hoed the soil with passionate vigor, singing joyful, radiant songs. "Let's get to it. Up, 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 up. Where are my comrades? Let's rise and work. The plowed earth is our earth." The plow follows us slowly. Ridges emerge under the hoe. Our sweat falls like rain straight to the sea. Up, up. The echoing songs filled the heavens and earth, igniting a flame of determination and boiling Credos' fighting spirit. He quickly regained his composure, shouting commands. "Team 1, try to find even a patch where the potatoes are still alive. Team 2, grab your hoes and line up in rows." So began slicing the remaining potato seeds. Zephyr helped her wipe the blade clean. Hackban directed Team 1's Azurat. "Go fetch the tools I specified." Moments later, he tilted his head to the sky, drew a deep breath, and bellowed the familiar slogan in supplication. A bountiful harvest. The entire corps raised their hoes high, roaring in fierce response. Ban bit down on the pull rope, summoning all his strength to drag along a dozen people hanging from the line. Those 10 muscular figures gripped the rope with their feet, while their hands swung hoes into the earth at an unimaginable speed, pushing productivity to its peak. Seeing this spectacle, Credos couldn't hold back his emotion, realizing he had momentarily forgotten what true farming was. Natural disasters, pests, soaring prices, climate change, battling all sorts of enemies, failure, collapse, and then turning the soil over once more. Survival is war. At the same time, little Flute nearby suddenly widened her eyes in round surprise. She spotted a tender green sprout poking from the soil and inwardly cheered. "This potato sprout is still okay." Flute immediately toddled over to it. Grasping the sprout, she tugged with effort while encouraging herself. "Even one more potato sprout is better than none." Ignoring Jaster's groans beside her. "Spare me. Please, have mercy." Flute pulled with both hands, her whole body trembling, face flushed red, yet the sprout stubbornly refused to budge, infuriating her. "You little thing, why won't you come out no matter how I pull?" At that moment, a large hand suddenly appeared, grasping the sprout alongside Flute's. Azura stepped up from behind, saying coolly, "Hold on tight, low-rank demon kid." Then he counted slowly. 1, 2, 3. The potato sprout was yanked clean from the ground by the two of them. Flute and Azura's froze, their eyes wide as saucers and mouths agape. Upon seeing the sprout pulled up with a long root trailing massive, plump potatoes. The tubers were so enormous that even Jaster, impaled into the ground, bulged his eyes in shock. It was so big and heavy it thudded right onto his head. Azura's gaped, stammering in disbelief. "What the hell?" Flute's eyes sparkled, her mouth stretching ear to ear in a grin. She eagerly shouted, "Lord Demon King! Lord Demon King!" Credos turned just in time to freeze in shock. Flute dashed over, hugging the colossal potato, exclaiming excitedly, "Look at this! It's a monster potato!" Credos dazedly took the potato from her hands, his eyes bulging as he asked incredulously, "Is this really a potato? Where did you find it?" Flute beamed. "I just pulled up a sprout over there, and the whole clump popped out." Credos stared at the potato as big as his arm span, suddenly recalling a similar scene in the game after defeating Planus. After death, small sprouts emerging from his corpse meant his nutrients had seeped deep into the soil, and now he was hundreds, even thousands of times larger. At this realization, Credos lit up with excitement, whipping around and bellowing, "Farming Corps, Drop what you're doing and dig deep into the ground right now. The farming corps sprang into action at once, and soon they unearthed countless gigantic potatoes. Everyone gasped in awe. It's huge, insanely huge. Cheers of exhilaration erupted from all around. The fields aren't dead yet. Potatoes are everywhere. A heap of colossal potatoes. Over here too. And here. How many are there? Credos stood speechless in joy, not even noticing Suong's son sticking out his tongue to sneak a lick of the potato in his hand. Everyone embraced the round tubers, hoisting them high in emotional fervor, roaring in utter bliss. Zephyr stood silently behind Credos, observing it all, then softly asked, "Demon King, is this a bountiful harvest?" Credos smiled faintly, relieved in his thoughts. Thank the heavens. Then, slowly replying, "Yes, it is." He thought emotionally, "I'm so glad." Overjoyed to the point of tears, Credos shouted, "This is a bountiful harvest. Everyone will eat our fill." In the Demon King's lair, Credos sat heavily on a wooden chair, propping his chin in deep thought. Let's summarize the current situation of the wastelands. First, the one-star domain, the Demon King's castle. One-star King Sarutan rebelled and has already gone to meet his maker. After the great Bone-Eye spirit was defeated, all his minions vanished with him. Now, it's completely desolate, not a soul in sight. The two-star domain. After two-star King Planus bit the dust, his followers fell into panic and confusion, not understanding what happened. The three-star domain. Three-star King Raster is currently being used as a lightning rod. Should we punish his lackeys for their treachery? The four-star domain belongs to Serpent God Tatsu, who's described in the game as fairly loyal. The remnants in the second domain and those in the fourth domain are easier to mobilize, but I can't just gather them carelessly. Not to mention, finding more manpower means more mouths to feed. Let's take it slow, at least until the next harvest. At that moment, Zephyr entered to report. Demon King, we've prepared a large quantity of soup as you ordered. Credos nodded approvingly, carefully instructing. Good, well done. Make sure to distribute the meal vouchers fairly. Immediately after, a black foolish bat flapped its wings and flew in, announcing loudly, Demon King, I've sent the standby orders to each domain. Credos asked suspiciously, are they following the orders? I can't trust them anymore. The foolish bat replied bluntly, the fourth domain isn't complying. This sent Credos into a rage, cursing, damn it, why do those bastards keep disobeying? The foolish bat, stunned, blurted out, why? They didn't say anything specific. This absurdly naive response darkened Credos' face. He growled, what? You didn't even ask for a reason? The foolish bat, still clueless, repeated, ask who? Its dim-witted demeanor drove Credos mad. He leapt from his chair, grabbed its wing, and roared, are all mid-tier demons this brain-dead? I want to know why the fourth king isn't following orders. The foolish bat shrieked in terror. The four-star domain only has a few servants left now. It's completely empty. Credos tightened his grip on its wing, gritting his teeth in restraint as he pressed. Did you ask the servants? Predictably, he got a trembling reply. No, Credos hissed through clenched teeth. So you don't even know why it's empty? The foolish bat's answer was simply, yes. This pushed Credos, already furious, into a frenzy. He cursed wildly in his mind. God damn it, this is infuriating, like talking to brain-dead bureaucrats. Meanwhile, Zephyr stood calmly nearby, sketching Credos' snarling, dog-like face, and casually throwing in a jab. He's acting all nice now, but he's still the Demon King, so his face looks disgustingly terrifying. Even after hundreds or thousands of years, no one will ever have a face more painfully hideous than Demon King Credos. Credos, still livid, bellowed, damn it, what if some guy shows up, you dumb bat? Having watched the drama unfold, Zephyr finally grabbed the thoroughly scolded foolish bat and mediated. I'll try talking to it. What did the servants say? Where's the fourth king? The foolish bat, sniffling, answered, oh, well, he went to invade human territory, saying he wanted to collect human corpses to use as fertilizer. Credos froze for a moment. Then, in utter shock, his jaw dropped, his face purpled, and he stammered, we're screwed. Professor, what did you just say? Kratos racked his brain, recalling the game's storyline. The ancient Holy Knight would awaken at this time. If demons invaded, he'd wipe them out the moment he saw them. This meant that as long as they didn't invade, the Holy Knight wouldn't attack. Some time had passed, and that Kimchi Holy Knight hadn't appeared, so Kratos figured he was right. But if the fourth king attacked humans, that battle-hardened old man would show up. Cold sweat poured from Kratos like a fountain. Zephyr, startled, shouted, "Demon King, where are you going?" as he saw his Demon King bolting out in a panic. Before leaving, Kratos didn't forget to answer his aide. To stop that damn fourth king, obviously. Zephyr yelled after him in alarm. "Should we send reinforcements, my lord?" But Kratos immediately refused. Going alone is fastest. He sprinted forward, calculating in his mind. After defeating Planus, the mana seed had reached level 4. Kratos quickly ordered, "Focus nutrients on the mana seed. Pour everything into agility, reducing all stats like endurance, mental strength, physical strength, and magic by 10%. Channeling the remaining nutrients into agility boosted it to 160%. Kratos had only one thought. Use any game glitch, any shortcut, anything possible, as fast as possible. Soon, he reached the desolate demon wasteland, not far from the Tower of Life. The Holy Knight's tomb, the unclaimed land where Kimchi met Envoy's group and the village of the exiled, where they had taken refuge. Just a bit further down was the border between humans and demons, Margrat Fortress. At the same time, atop a towering stronghold, soldiers at the gate peered through binoculars, suddenly exclaiming, "Huh? What's that?" "It's Envoy Azrahan. Envoy Azrahan has returned. Where are all the soldiers? Why's only that ugly aide here?" And an unfamiliar group stood below the gate. A burly man with gray hair immediately greeted them. "Thank you for your efforts, Lord Azrahan." Margrat Fortress's commander, Wolkos, cautiously asked, "Where are the soldiers sent with you?" Azrahan sighed heavily and replied, "We encountered a group of monsters on the way. We didn't even get close to demon territory." Wolkos bowed his head, his voice filled with regret. His Majesty's order to explore demon lands is a special, recurring mission, but it always comes with sacrifices. They were fine warriors. Now, please come inside and rest. Azrahan responded politely. "Thank you, Commander Wolkos." Wolkos stepped back to let Azrahan and his entourage enter. But when Kimchi stepped forward, Wolkos swung his sword to block him, saying coldly, "Not you." This stunned Azrahan and Dion, who had just entered, causing them to turn back. Kimchi, shocked, glared, his face hardening, startling the group. Azrahan hurriedly stepped between them, explaining, "This is someone we met in the unclaimed land. He saved me when I was injured." But Wolkos remained unyielding, replying coolly, "Have you forgotten, Lord Azrahan? Only those who leave through this gate may return." Dion also stepped forward to mediate. "Oh, come on. I think there's been a misunderstanding." He suddenly reached into his pocket, flashed a charming smile, and discreetly offered a few gold coins, whispering, "I'm not asking to get in for free." But Wolkos, upright as steel, slapped him, sending him crashing to the ground with the coins scattering. Wolkos angrily berated him. "You crude, ugly potato head, inside and out. Your descendants' will live just like that." Dion, with a massive handprint on his face, teared up in humiliation. After dealing with the potato head, Wolkos pointed his sword at Kimchi's face, commanding sternly, "You, take off your cloak immediately. If anything's suspicious, you'll be executed on the spot." Azrahan, hearing this, panicked, screaming internally, "No way. Whatever he's wearing under that cloak is 100% hideous." Kimchi didn't react to Wolkos, only silently watching Dion, who was clutching his face on the ground. At that moment, a sudden wave of killing intent radiated from Kimchi. Wolkos, alarmed and on guard, thought they were about to fight, but a trumpet blared loudly, accompanied by soldiers' frantic shouts. "They're coming! They're coming!" Right at the fortress gate, a formidable demon army was advancing, causing everyone in the stronghold to scream in panic. "Demons! It's the demons!" Leading the army was the fourth king, Tatsu. Wolkos abandoned his focus on Kimchi and rushed inside, shouting, "Get into battle formation! Battle formation!" Kimchi stood dazed, looking ahead and thinking, a demon. At that moment, an evil spirit holding a controller laughed maniacally, ordering, "Kill them," leaving Kimchi stunned. Meanwhile, Kratos was sprinting forward. He clenched his jaw, chanting silently in his mind, "Please, please, please. Don't attack, don't attack, don't attack." The wretched demon king Kratos wailed in agony along the endless road. The entire demon race is going to get wiped out. The demons in the fourth king's army were frantically ramming a massive pointed wooden stake into the human fortress's gate. A command rang out, "Prepare to fire," directing all the soldiers atop the walls to unleash a volley of arrows. A torrent of sharp projectiles rained down, piercing the demons' flesh and sending them collapsing to the ground. The demon army wasn't to be underestimated either, hurling massive boulders at the fortress, causing soldiers to topple continuously. The ferocious demons surrounded the gate, their pointed wooden stake already cracking it. At the same time, Kimchi, Azrahan, and other civilians were huddled in a shelter. Listening anxiously to the booming sounds from outside, Kimchi furrowed his brow, thinking solemnly, "I was about to charge into battle on instinct. Maybe the memories of slaughter from my 19 past lives keep replaying, as if controlled by the hand of fate. They're forcing me to fight again. If Count Azrahan hadn't held me back, I'd have fought like it was natural, without knowing my own intentions. But everyone here is trembling in fear. In times like these, I really have to fight." At that moment, a deafening crash echoed as the gate was smashed, distorted by the wooden stake, sending the soldiers inside into a panicked scramble. Azrahan's face paled, while Dion screamed in terror, "The castle gate! It's down!" The gate teetered and collapsed. The demon army flooded into the fortress, roaring with excitement. "Kill them all! Turn them into fertilizer!" Wolkos urgently shouted to his subordinates, "Destroy the rear bridge." His subordinate hesitated, but Wolkos bellowed, "We're going to die here anyway. Don't let a single demon reach the mainland. The main gate's lost. Blow the bridge now. Blow the bridge." The rear bridge exploded. This left Azrahan ghostly pale, muttering in a daze, "I just heard the explosion to destroy the bridge." Dion shrieked in fear. "So we're really going to die here? I haven't even gotten married yet." Azrahan fell silent for a moment before giving a faint smile and sincerely consoling, "Don't be too bitter about that. Even if you survived, you wouldn't find anyone to marry." His honest comfort made Dion's face sour instantly, cursing silently, "You damn dog, in my next life, if I'm a noble, you'll slave away for me until you drop dead." Just as he finished thinking, another massive crash rang out right by their ears, causing everyone to clutch their heads in fear. A serpentine monster smashed through the wall of their hiding place, making everyone cling to each other in terror, screaming. The demon snake's sharp claw reached out, snatching a little girl and lifting her up. The girl cried out in pain, "Mommy!" Her mother sobbed, screaming, "No!" Azrahan lunged forward in agitation, but was held back by Dion. Kimchi narrowed his eyes, his face cold as ice, and with a clean slash of his sword, he severed the demon's wrist, sending the girl flying. Dion's jaw dropped in shock. Azrahan rushed to catch the girl in his arms. The familiar dark gray cloak fluttered in the wind outside the shelter. The rampaging demons plunged the fortress into chaos. Kimchi soared into the sky to scout. After confirming the leader was the fourth king Tatsu, he immediately descended, blocking Tatsu's path. Tatsu was startled by this sudden appearance. Kimchi's cloak billowed, his stance undeniably cool, yet revealing a gaudy red heart-shaped scepter and a frilly pink maiden dress. Tatsu gaped, thinking warily, "His clothes. What kind of ridiculous fashion is that? Looks high as hell." However, the flamboyant outfit didn't diminish Kimchi's towering aura. He arrogantly commanded, "I don't want to fight. Retreat." Tatsu scoffed, retorting, "You think you can order me around looking like that? And if I don't, what can you do?" Kimchi paused for a second before coldly declaring, "Your entire clan. I'll slaughter them all." Tatsu didn't bother with further talk, swinging his blade and lunging at Kimchi. Kimchi stood still, coldly watching the massive blade descend toward him, thinking resignedly, "In the end, is this my only choice?" He gripped his scepter tightly. "Fine. If this is fate, I'll accept it." I am the demon slayer. But just as Kimchi prepared to strike, Kratos suddenly charged in, delivering a critical kick to his dim-witted subordinate, sending Tatsu flying past Kimchi and crashing to the ground. Kratos panted, hands on his knees. Sweat poured from his body, but a chill ran down his spine when he saw Kimchi's icy gaze. After kicking his own subordinate, Kratos gaped, screaming internally in horror. Kimchi, why of all places are you here? At that moment, Tatsu struggled to lift his head, calling, Lord Demon, but was promptly met with Kratos' sandal. Kratos furiously stomped on Tatsu's head, berating him. You dumb dog. You disobedient mutt. Why the hell did you invade? Huh? Why did you attack humans? Tatsu weakly tried to explain. I just, but was met with a barrage of kicks and curses from Kratos. Shut up. You pathetic loser, just die. After a round of stomping, Kratos fearfully glanced at Kimchi behind him. Seeing Kimchi's expression, he turned back to pummel Tatsu again, yelling, We're living in peace, aren't we? Farming, trying to live quietly, skulking like rats. Wasn't that the plan? Huh? He roared furiously, as if pleading to someone. We don't need to attack. We're doing fine. Why? Why did you act on your own? Huh? In his mind, he desperately begged, Please spare me. Just this once, let it slide. Don't wipe out the entire demon race. The joyful, happy images of Hackban and the others flooded Kratos' mind. But those beautiful images shattered with a single short sentence from Kimchi. I know who you are. Kratos froze, turning back. Kimchi directly exposed him. You're Demon King Kratos, aren't you? Kratos' face turned ashen, and he wailed in despair internally. This is it. I'm totally screwed. The demons in the Fourth King's army froze upon seeing Kratos, huddling together and whispering. The Demon King himself showed up. Is he saying something? It's too far to hear anything. Meanwhile, their Demon King was trembling violently, struggling to move his stiff mouth to deflect. Kratos. What's that? Some kind of computer program. Yet Kimchi coldly reaffirmed. I'm not asking because I don't know. This is my final confirmation. Though he wondered what a computer was, Kratos was so terrified that his pupils danced wildly in his eyes, screaming internally. He's figured it out, and he's dead certain. If I just stand here like an idiot, I'm 100% getting pummeled. Right now, my best move is it's my only option. Kratos suddenly clenched his teeth and recklessly charged toward Kimchi. His hands hit the ground. His face tensed, but strangely, instead of attacking, Kratos slammed his head hard into the earth. His two horns dug deep into the ground, leaving his subordinates stunned. Not only them, but Kimchi also furrowed his brow, staring at Kratos, who was upside down with his legs splayed awkwardly. Even Kimchi was thrown off by this awkward posture. The demons, watching, seemed enlightened, buzzing with thoughts. The enemies completely baffled. Is this some new intimidation tactic from the Demon King? Kimchi hesitantly asked. What are you doing? Kratos earnestly explained. It's called the Grand Kowtow, the deepest way to express gratitude or apology. Demon King Kratos had no intention of invading humans. It was that damn lizard acting on his own, so I rushed here to stop him. Yet Kimchi remained unmoved, saying, Do you really think I'd trust a demon's words? Kratos immediately slammed his head down harder, casting aside his pride as a demon king and desperately pleading. Please believe me. Until these horns wear out, I'll apologize 10 times, 100 times if needed. Yet his subordinates, unable to hear, excitedly praised him in their minds. That ferocious grasshopper-like stance, tearing up the ground, truly the Demon King. Kratos kept kowtowing at Kimchi's feet, grinding his teeth and slamming his head down, fully aware he must look pathetic, but if he didn't, the entire demon race would be slaughtered. As the leader, he had to take responsibility, willing to endure humiliation for his people. He involuntarily recalled an unforgettable scene from the past. A fat man, face tilted arrogantly to the sky, sneering mockingly. Holy crap, he actually knelt just because we told him to. Hilarious as hell. You think that settles it? I'm about to leave a bad review. That older brother had knelt on the ground, bowing low in the most degrading way to apologize. I'm so sorry. Dear customer, I promise this will never happen again. Please let it slide just this once. The young Kratos could only clutch his bag strap, crying silently, unable to do more. But Kratos had learned a lesson. He was willing to endure humiliation for his people. Demon King Kratos kept kowtowing. The loud thuds echoed in the silent space. Even as his horns gouged the earth, he didn't stop. Though Kratos had cast aside his pride and honor, Kim Chi remained utterly unmoved. In Kim Chi's mind, there was only one thought. It's useless, Demon King. I exist only to kill you, and I'll do it now, along with every last demon. Kim Chi raised his heart-shaped scepter high, but suddenly froze. The relentless thumping of Kratos' cowed continued, but this time it made Kim Chi frown, pondering deeply. I should kill him, but this guy. Then he thought again, 10 times, and another 10 like that, so familiar. 10 times, and then another 10. After a few seconds of reflection, Kim Chi jolted, suddenly realizing where this familiar action came from. The duty summon always involved 10 counts, even when sweeping through demon lands, 10 times per round. Before charging into traps, he counted 10 beats. Even when rolling around for no reason, it was 10 rolls. Kratos continued pleading desperately. I'm super sorry. Please forgive me. Please let me go. Those pleas made Kim Chi think. That tone doesn't sound like a demon king at all, but it's so familiar. Who are you? He stood frozen, questioning himself. Why is the duty summon appearing before me as the demon king? Only now did Kim Chi's lips move, saying stop. Kratos looked up in shock. Kim Chi coldly ordered, get lost, because I really want to kill you right now. But this made Kratos ecstatic, his eyes gleaming with hope. He sprang up, hoisted Tatsu over his shoulder, and shouted, Thank you. I'll never forget this favor for the rest of my life. Immediately after, he bellowed, Fourth Demon King's army, retreat now. Everyone scrambled, urging in their minds, run fast, hurry. This left the demons puzzled, muttering, huh? What's going on? No idea, but the Demon King said so. Kratos, carrying the lizard Tatsu, ran ahead, followed by his demon minions trailing in droves. Kim Chi stood still, half closing his eyes to hide his garish outfit beneath the thick cloak. At that moment, Tatsu, slung over Kratos' shoulder, suddenly snapped awake. Seeing Kim Chi's back, he went berserk, roaring, You lowly scum! How dare you! Tatsu broke free from Kratos, charging furiously at Kim Chi from behind, prompting Kratos to scream in panic. No, but it was too late. With a flick of his hand, Kim Chi sliced through both of Tatsu's arms. Kratos froze in shock. Tatsu's body crashed onto a large rock, blood splattering everywhere, his severed arms falling as Kratos shuddered, his face ghostly pale. A while later, in the human castle, Azrahan and Dion hurriedly ran up, anxiously asking, Brother Kim Chi, are you okay? You suddenly disappeared, and we were so worried. Kim Chi explained, I just fought a bit, that's all. Azrahan exclaimed in surprise, Huh, you fought those terrifying demons. Before Kim Chi could respond, Wolkos suddenly appeared, speaking respectfully. Your name is Kim Chi, correct? Unlike his earlier harsh demeanor, he bowed deeply, placing a hand on his chest, expressing gratitude. Lord Kim Chi, you crushed the demons in the blink of an eye and made the rest kneel and beg. We all witnessed it. Please forgive my earlier rudeness. Before Kim Chi could say anything, Azrahan gasped in shock. Brother Kim Chi, I knew you were strong, but this... He was cut off by Wolkos, who shouted excitedly. Everyone, let's cheer for Lord Kim Chi. He protected our fortress. All the soldiers roared enthusiastically. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Kim Chi froze for a moment. He lowered his head, gave a faint smile, and thought to himself, Now, in my 20th life, I've finally escaped the endless cycle of death. I've chosen the path of a savior, even though I still had to kill those two just now. His garish pink dress peeked out, causing Wolkos and the cheering soldiers to fall silent, their faces turning pale in shock. Meanwhile, in the desolate 4-star domain, a stormy wasteland, Kratos was leading the Fourth King's demons back to their territory. Panting heavily, he grumbled internally, finally made it. Moving with this many people is exhausting as hell. Kratos raised his fist, shouting at the demons behind him. Now get back to your homes or castles, or whatever, and stay put. If you invade humans again, we're all done for. The demons timidly explained. We only followed because Lord Tatsu ordered us to, but Kratos snapped back. Enough excuses, just go home. Now. After driving the demons back to their domain, Kratos trudged along, muttering to himself. If we follow the game's progression properly, we can't exploit glitches or take shortcuts, so it's a huge waste of time. I need to get back fast to check on the Royal Potato Garden. Then he spotted a well by the roadside, thinking glumly, an abandoned well. If those things worked, traveling wouldn't be this tiring. There's systems for upgrading power and teleportation. I checked every single one, but none of them work. Kratos leaned over the well, exhausted, thinking, I'd kill to teleport right now. They probably don't work because I'm not a holy knight. Just as he thought this, the well he was resting on suddenly emitted a strange green light, leaving him stunned. A system notification popped up. Due to encountering the Holy Knight, a new game system has been unlocked. Teleportation through abandoned wells is now available. And with that, Kratos was sucked into the well. His body twisted and morphed, floating in a strange dimension. The system cheerfully asked, all wells you've visited since entering this world have been activated. Where would you like to go? Kratos, ecstatic, let out a cheer but then wondered. The well under the Demon King's castle. Wait, that one's broken. The helpful system reminded him. The well is still operational. So the Demon King made his choice. All right, let's go there. The system immediately initiated teleportation to the basement of the Demon King's castle. What followed was Kratos's ear-piercing scream, like a pig being slaughtered. At the same time, in the garden of the Demon King's castle, Azuras held a wooden stick, saying helplessly, this place is busted too. Guess we'll have to give up. Flute, digging away, pleaded desperately. Please, just one working farming tool. Where she was digging, a strange green light suddenly glowed, making Flute itch and exclaim, huh. Right after, the grotesquely ugly face of the Demon King appeared out of nowhere. Kratos immediately leapt out of the dirt and roared to the sky. Flute, terrified out of her wits, fell backward and fainted. Azuras, startled, turned to see Flute collapsed and his Demon King smacking his lips with a groan. Sure enough, Kratos then spewed a pile of rainbow-colored vomit, and Azuras, in a panic, dove forward, catching the vibrant mess all over himself to protect little Flute. Azuras crashed to the ground covered in slimy rainbows, while Kratos plopped down by the well, muttering to himself, my stomach feels like it's doing acrobatics. Can it teleport me gently like in the game? Flute, crying, ran to poor Azuras' side, while the culprit behind the mess casually wiped his mouth, thinking cheerfully, well, puking up a whole breakfast to get here instantly is a fair price. Now let's get to mass-producing those giant potatoes. Ignoring Flute's wails beside her unfortunate brother. A while later, in the storage room, Kratos gazed at the massive pile of potatoes and marveled. Even now, these potatoes look insanely huge. Zephyr reported, Lord Haddock's mist has cleaned them thoroughly. Kratos suddenly fell silent, pursing his lips as he stared at the potatoes. He abruptly crouched down, picking up a potato, muttering to himself, what's this? Why does this one keep rolling? After Kim Chi stared at the giant potato for a few seconds, Kratos realized a shocking truth. He gritted his teeth and roared, no, damn it. He frantically dug through the pile, shouting in agitation, it's not here. This one too, they're all gone. Zephyr, tense, asked, my lord, is something wrong with the potatoes? Kratos slumped helplessly, saying in despair, these giant potatoes, they don't have eyes to sprout. Zephyr cautiously asked, no sprout eyes means they can't grow? Kratos gritted his teeth in anguish. Ugh, these potatoes are sterile. Later, at the temporary base in the Demon King's castle, Kratos gloomily announced to everyone, so, even if we plant these giant potatoes, we won't get anything. Haddock frowned, adding, their properties have been unnaturally altered, turning them into mutant plants that lost their reproductive ability. Bahal asked blankly, so we can't eat them? So GHI snapped at him. No, you idiot, we just can't plant them. Once we eat what we have, that's it. Kratos interjected somberly. Either way, we can't rely on potatoes forever. Potatoes are prone to disease. One pest, and it's over. We'll have to grow something else. Azura's frowned, asking, something else? What else can grow in this land besides potatoes? Kratos lowered his face, replying coldly, nothing, but I know a place with tons of seeds to plant. Zephyr jolted, thinking, don't tell me. Kratos continued, a place with lots of farming seeds, the human lands. This shocked everyone, and Ban even shouted in agitation, that's invasion. It's robbery, no different from starting a war. But so GHI snapped, hold on, you fool. The one who hates war the most is the Demon King. Kratos ignored their bickering, quickly issuing orders. Zephyr, make a ton of dried potatoes right away, our currency. Stay here and help Haddock manage the farming team. Meanwhile, me, Cerseer, Bahal, and Azura's will. He grinned fiercely, exclaiming joyfully, sell dried potatoes to humans and use the money to buy seeds. He thought arrogantly to himself, Kimchi, as long as we don't run into him, there won't be any problems. There's always a way to turn this situation around. Kratos sat on the central chair, silently observing the group before him. Zephyr, standing to one side, grumbled softly, going to the human world to sell dried potatoes? Have you lost your mind? Kratos coldly replied, explain why I should listen to your nonsense. Unfazed, Zephyr pointed at the group below. Look at the 3 great demon generals you're sending. Take Bahal's rugged face, he remarked. He looks like a monster. Then, pointing at Azura's menacing, murderous aura. To humans, they're walking danger signs. And the other one, he looks like a serial killer, with skin so bad it's like a graphical glitch. Even Sergei, whose face was half hidden, wasn't spared. And the last one looks like a half-human, half-octopus freak with acute diarrhea, pale as if he just crawled out of a freezer. Zephyr concluded nonchalantly, if humans see them, they'll scream demons and attack on sight. As soon as he finished, Sergei grabbed him, dragging him in front of Azura's blade as a sacrificial offering. Zephyr calmly defended himself. I'm just stating the truth. Think logically. Azura snapped angrily. We're always logical. You weakling. That means killing you right now is perfectly logical. Bahal chimed in with a sense of justice. Zephyr's right about one thing. You all look hideous. I'm the only handsome one here. Azura's didn't hold back, kicking back. Oh, please, you're the most demonic-looking one here. Haddock, who hadn't been targeted yet, smugly interjected. Your perception is pathetic. Except for me, a true gentleman, you all look the same. Azura's, his mouth practically sprouting feathers, retorted dryly. You mean like dried corpses? Sergei, the zombie impersonator, smugly added. You're all like rotten fish. No need to compete. Instantly, the other two turned their ire on her. Azura's roared. Shut up, you inflamed gut hag, while Haddock scornfully exposed. Don't you realize you're the weirdest-looking one? You half-human, half-octopus freak. In the end, a proper revenge brawl erupted among the demon generals before Kratos' eyes. He sighed wearily at the chaotic scene, thinking to himself, everyone here is so touchy about their looks. Sometimes I actually feel bad for them. Then he raised his hand to stop them. Stop, stop. Internally, he mused, maybe I should lighten the mood with a joke. Outwardly, he flashed what he thought was a friendly smile, which instead made his face look terrifying, like he was about to slaughter them all. He spoke gently. Don't fight, everyone. None of us have the looks to show off out there. The raging demon generals were instantly silenced by that horrifying smile. Kratos, puzzled by their reaction, thought, not amused? But their silence means it worked. That's enough. Turning to Zephyr, he asked, Hey, Zephyr, did you bring what I told you to get from Sarutan's secret tunnel? Zephyr nodded. Oh, yes, the item from the hidden passage, right? He presented a tray covered with red cloth, atop which squirmed a bunch of wriggling creatures. They looked vaguely like worms, squeaking and drooling. Sergei stared in shock. What the hell are these? Her reaction startled one of the creatures, making it jump. Kratos flashed a devilish grin, growling. These are transformation elixirs. Eat one, and you'll turn into a completely different being. With these, we'll disguise ourselves and infiltrate human territory. Both Sergei and Azura's froze, with Sergei asking in horror, You're saying we have to eat these? Kratos replied as if it were obvious. You thought I brought these back to raise them? Bahal immediately lunged forward, grabbing a transformation elixir and shouting, "I'm not picky." With a pained squeal from the creature, he tossed it into his mouth, accompanied by a brief crunch that made the others shudder. Bahal instantly yelled, "Tastes like crap." The others shouted in disbelief. "You ate it because you thought it'd taste good?" But at that moment, Bahal's entire body began to glow. Credos washed with some anticipation. The transformation's result depends on the user's personality. Hopefully, no one ends up looking rabid. A thick cloud of dust billowed, obscuring the view. From within came Bahal's shocked voice. Oh, it's changing." As the dust cleared, an incredibly handsome man's face appeared before everyone. Bahal, still disoriented, touched his face, muttering, "Feels so different." Credos was stunned by the transformation. Recalling the elixir's function, he thought, the soul-compressing transformation elixir, usable only once, reflects the user's deepest desires. He realized, oh, I get it, so that's his true personality? Inspired by Bahal's appearance, Sergei boldly grabbed an elixir, declaring, "The Demon King's orders are absolute." Credos saw through her. "Sergei, you're dying to be beautiful, aren't you?" Once again, smoke billowed everywhere. When it cleared, a majestic alpaca stood tall. Zephyr silently handed Sergei a mirror. She took one look and wailed in despair. Ice Emperor Sergei, who wanted to be a demon with a warm heart. With Bahal's help, Credos quickly shoved an elixir into Azuraz's mouth. "We're running out of time. Eat it." This time, when the dust settled, a pelican appeared before everyone. Pelican Azuraz angrily flapped his wings, squawking, "Oak." Blood Prince Azuraz, who longed to live freely after years as a lightning rod. Even Credos, with anticipation, ate an elixir himself. "My turn." Smoke billowed once more. With his own commentary, a graduate student with a terrible personality, he transformed into a form barely different from his original. Credos held up a mirror, examining his face carefully, thinking anxiously. "Hardly changed, huh? Is this okay?" Glancing at his two beast-transformed subordinates, he quickly decided, "Let's just say I look like I have liver failure. All right, let's go." The seed scouting team set off boldly, led by two tall young men, with an alpaca and a pelican pulling the cart. At that moment, a system notification appeared before Credos. He looked at it in surprise. While using the transformation elixir, you will not gain any benefits from happiness points. Credos huffed reluctantly. So many restrictions. He carefully recalled how to revert forms in the game, reminding himself, even in the game, using skills or taking damage instantly reverts you to your original form, so we need to be extremely careful with the abandoned wells. They quickly teleported to human territory, fortunately able to do so as a group by holding hands. The group landed in a barren desert. Racing to meet Sister Hugh, Credos was the first to stop, cautiously scanning the surroundings. The problem is how to get past that now. Before him was a deep canyon, with an ancient city visible on the other side. He weighed his options anxiously. My biggest fear is running into Kimchi. Realizing Kimchi was there meant he was deep in human territory, right? Credos reassured himself. It's been a while since then. He's probably reached his destination and isn't around here anymore. And even if he is, he probably won't recognize me. He kept sweating, nervously asking himself, right? He won't recognize me, right? Please don't recognize me. For now, the only option was to quickly gather seeds. Meanwhile, at the city, a warning horn blared, signaling a group of suspicious figures approaching. The gate guards shouted in panic, "More demons?" "I don't think so, but they look deathly ill." Their words targeted Credos' pale face leading the group. Wolkos emerged from within, calmly approaching them. He stopped, assessed the group, and slowly probed. "You must be from the village of the exiled. Turn back. You have no right to pass through this gate." Sergei and Azuras, in their beast forms behind, frowned simultaneously. As expected, this plan was never going to be easy. Even Credos understood the reason behind Wolkos' words. "I saw this coming. The demons just invaded not long ago, so of course they won't let anyone through." But he considered his strengths. "I'm a veteran gamer. The quest log. I've grinded through the story log and memorized every game setting." Looking at Wolkos' stern demeanor, Credos faced him confidently, then flashed a fawning smile. Even a lowly exile like me can bring back true treasures from demon territory. Wolkos reacted with surprise. Demon territory? Kratos thought smugly. The human king desperately wants to know what exists in demon lands. He even sent special envoys to investigate. With this move, they'll definitely let me through. Wolkos, now skeptical, asked, treasures? You mean those things behind you? Kratos put on a sycophantic act, replying, yes, exactly. You have a keen eye, sir. Pointing at the two beast-transformed figures behind him, he shamelessly fabricated. These are monsters I captured deep in demon territory. They'd make a damn fine meal. Neither Sergei nor Azuras immediately processed his words, but after a moment, they froze in horror, stunned for 5 seconds. The entire scene fell silent for a moment. Wolkos asked suspiciously, you captured these in demon territory? He looked at the two creatures, bluntly stating, that one's a pelican, and the other's a camel, right? You're offering such common animals to the king. His words hit Sergei and Azuras like a thunderclap, and even Kratos was stunned. What the hell? In a European setting, camels and pelicans are common animals? What kind of bizarre world building is this? Wolkos now adopted a threatening stance, shooing them away. These stinking, useless things. Take them back immediately. Sergei, enraged by the insult, let out a furious bellow, expressing her indignation. Her cry caught Wolkos' attention, making him exclaim in surprise, that pronunciation is clear and precise, like a human's. It's not an ordinary camel, is it? Kratos seized the opportunity. He quickly hugged Sergei's head, enthusiastically introducing, you have a keen eye, sir. Creatures from demon territory vocalize very clearly. He turned to Azuras. This one wails loudly. Come on, you cry now. Azuras shot him a contemptuous glare. Without hesitation, Kratos yanked out a handful of Azuras' feathers, causing him to screech in pain. Wolkos, hearing this, excitedly shouted, you're approved. Come in. The group followed him inside. Kratos thought gleefully to himself, we made it. But at that moment, Wolkos sternly addressed them. Even with these rare creatures, you're still descendants of the exiled. I can't let you roam freely in the kingdom. Fortunately, a group of envoys is heading to the capital. Go with them. Kratos, annoyed, thought, what a pain in the ass. Inside a building, excited cheers rang out. Good news. I didn't collect anything from demon territory, so without you, I'd be humiliated before the king. Two members of the envoy group bowed grandly to Kratos and Bahal. I am Elbiha Azrahan, royal envoy, and this is my aide, Frontera. Kratos politely responded, pleased to meet you. I'm from the village of the exiled. I'm CRE, Kim Jang-cheol, and this is my friend, Stinkyfoot Bahal. Bahal muttered under his breath, from the village of the exiled? Frontera, beside him, slightly frowned, that name. Then Elbiha dropped a bombshell. I was there for months and never saw you. The soldiers behind them immediately reacted, shouting aggressively, reveal yourself. You're a demon, aren't you? Kratos cursed inwardly, you damn bastard. But Frontera quickly intervened. Oh dear, my young master Elbiha's forgetfulness is acting up again. He turned to remind Elbiha. Look closely, he's the guy from the second house on the left. This made Elbiha ask skeptically, the left where? Frontera seized the chance to whisper, just take them along. That way, we'll have something to present to the king, right? Elbiha, still worried, asked, but what if they're really demons? Frontera confidently assured, no way, impossible, never, trust me. Reassured, Elbiha quickly corrected himself. Right, we didn't talk much, so I forgot about you. Yes, you were there. Kratos, catching their exchange, calculated internally. That potato-face guy is pretty pragmatic. I can use him. Meanwhile, Frontera snapped his fingers, thinking no less deviously. That sickly-looking guy. I'll squeeze him dry and toss him to the dogs. Oblivious to their scheming, Elbiha cheerfully continued. All right, enough chit-chat. Let's hit the road. Another member outside will join us later. He gestured to introduce someone behind him. This is Lord Kim Chi, who kindly offered to escort us. The moment Kratos saw him, cold sweat poured from him. Kim Chi shot a chilling glance his way. Kratos shakily greeted. Hello, I'm Kim Jang-cheol. Inwardly, he wailed. Oh crap, I'm totally screwed. But Kim Chi merely remarked casually. Your liver doesn't seem too healthy. Take care of yourself. Stunned by the sincere concern, Kratos froze, but Elbiha, excited, led the group with Kim Chi. The capital's still far. Let's move. Behind them, Kratos sighed in relief, wondering, he didn't recognize me? Seriously? The transformation elixir actually worked. But ahead, Kim Chi cast another cold glance back at him. That night, as the group gathered around a campfire, Kratos remained anxious, spiraling with thoughts. This is dangerous, insanely dangerous. If we get ambushed by bandits or mobbed, the transformation effect will wear off, and Kim Chi will kill me instantly. He couldn't help stealing glances at Kim Chi. The capital's so far away. We just need to sell the potatoes and buy seeds. Why trek such a long distance? At that moment, Kim Chi shot him a piercing glare. Kratos, sweating profusely, awkwardly waved to deflect attention. Kim Chi frowned, still watching him. Kratos quickly turned away, clutching his racing heart. Damn it, locking eyes with him nearly gave me a heart attack. A sudden thought struck him. I've got to escape, tonight. Late at night, as Sergei and Azuras shivered outside the tent, Kratos tried to rouse Bahal inside. Hey Bahal, wake up, hurry. Bahal groggily protested. Ugh, Bahal needs 8 hours of sleep to grow strong. Kratos snapped mercilessly. You stopped growing centuries ago, you delusional idiot. They quickly slipped out to join the two shivering beast-formed demons. Kratos cautiously listened for noises from the tent. Sergei, seeing his urgency, asked puzzledly, where are we sneaking off to in the middle of the night? Kratos, surprised she spoke, asked, you can talk? Sergei casually nodded. Of course. It just took me a bit to get used to this mouth structure. Kratos confidently laid out his prepared reasoning. Why bother with that troublesome group? We've passed the checkpoint. Those guys are useless now. We need to complete our goal. If we waste time and get exposed, we're in deep trouble. At that moment, a cold voice cut through his words. What identity is that? Under the moonlight, Kim Chi stood waiting, sword in hand. His gaze, both icy and calm, fixed on Kratos's group, who froze in terror. Meanwhile, in the abandoned wasteland, Hakban and Zephyr stared silently at the scene before them. A massive demon army stood in front of them. Hakban coldly questioned, what's this? I didn't order you to gather. Why are you all here? One hesitantly replied, well, our demon king is here, and we heard we could eat our fill if we came. Hakban's head throbbed at the reason. There's no way we have that much food until the demon king brings back seeds. Just then, a shocked and angry shout rang out nearby. What the hell? Why are these crabs, clams, and shellfish here? A group of tree demons aggressively approached, dragging an entire river's worth of followers. Their leader pleaded loudly, Lord Hakban, please let us in. Planus's rebellion had nothing to do with us. Before he could respond, another cry came from behind. Lord Hakban, save us first. A group of lizard demons arrived with their own horde, their leader dramatically lamenting. We've traveled so far. Everyone's on the brink of starvation. In an instant, Hakban and Zephyr were surrounded by a chaotic mob. One after another, they clamored for food. Have mercy. Let us go first. Please. Hakban's face darkened as he asked Zephyr, how many giant potatoes do we have left? Zephyr replied without hesitation, plenty, but cautiously added, but with so many mouths, we need to stretch it for days. Hakban fell silent for a moment. He recalled Kratos's instructions. While I'm gone, you're the demon king. Think and act like one. Swallowing hard, he adopted a dignified stance and calmly ordered, sort them by type into separate areas and arrange proper accommodations. I'll ensure you all get food. On the human side, Kratos stood frozen, staring at the menacing figure before him. Kim Chi asked coldly, speak. Who are you really? Kim Jang Cheol, Kratos stammered, trembling. Bahal, behind him, looked puzzled and leaned in to whisper, why are you so scared? Bahal, will crush him to dust if you give the order. Hearing this, Kratos grew even more alarmed and turned to hiss a warning. Don't go picking fights recklessly, you idiot. Look at that Kim Chi guy closely. Does he look like someone whose strength you can gauge? In front of them, Kim Chi remained silent, awaiting his answer. Bahal glanced at Kim Chi and huffed lightly. Honestly, at first, I thought he was pretty scary. At that moment, Kim Chi calmly interjected. I can't hear everything. His words sent a chill through Kratos. Meanwhile, Kim Chi pondered silently. The duty summoned and demon king Kim Jang-cheol. He mustn't drag me into a cycle of killing, but now he seeks peace. What's his true intent? Why did he come all the way here? I want to know what he's really thinking. Just then, Kratos spoke up. The truth is, we didn't come to offer tribute to the king. Kim Chi seemed caught off guard by the response. Unaware, Kratos continued fabricating. As you can see, our land is desperately short on food, but even so, we're trying to farm. The cart behind us carries our hometown specialty. In a way, he revealed his true purpose. We came to sell dried potatoes and buy seeds to plant. Then, sincerely, he added, that's why we tried to slip away quietly to avoid getting caught. Moreover, the royal capital is too far, so we only plan to visit the nearest city. He put on a fearful expression, pleading, I'm really sorry, please understand. We're just too poor and hungry. As he spoke, he calculated internally, I'll appeal to his compassion. That way, we should get through this smoothly. Kim Chi stared intently at him. Kratos tensed under his gaze. Kim Chi looked straight into his eyes, concluding in his mind, those eyes, he's hiding something, but he's not lying. So, the demons started eating humans due to food shortages? Finally, Kim Chi exhaled, easing his aura but still blocking Kratos' group. Sounds reasonable, but I can't let you go. Azrahan vouched that you'd offer tribute to the king. I can't let him down. But he softened, proposing, here's a deal. Stop along the way, sell your potatoes, and buy seeds. But you must continue to the royal capital. He suddenly mentioned Sergei and Azuras, startling them both. And as agreed, those two beasts will be offered to the king. Kratos didn't hesitate to betray his subordinates. Yes, absolutely. Those things are like trash back home. Both Sergei and Azuras thought in panic. He's not kidding. But they didn't know Kratos had already planned their escape. Of course I don't mean it. We'll bolt as soon as we get the seeds. The next morning on the road, Azrahan cheerfully asked Bahal, you're selling dried potatoes along the way? He eagerly suggested, can I see what they look like? Kratos agreed without hesitation. Oh, sure. Nothing special, just slightly larger than normal potatoes, cooked. He proudly lifted the cart's cover. Here, feast your eyes. While Azrahan wasn't particularly impressed, Frontera's jaw dropped in shock. After a glance, Azrahan sincerely said to Kratos, good luck with your sales. Frontera, alarmed, shouted at him, young master. Pointing at the potatoes, he greedily suggested, take these as tribute. Kratos feigned surprise. Huh? They're just big, ugly potatoes. Why offer them to the king? Frontera disagreed. They're not just big, they're massive. Kratos, still skeptical, chuckled. You're quite the comedian. If size mattered most, the tallest guy would already be king. Azrahan teased from the side. Seems he likes them because they look like him. This made Frontera grit his teeth in anger. One day, I'll be rich, and you'll be eating dirt. Just wait. Kratos watched them leave, thinking seriously. Still, that potato-faced guy might be onto something. These weirdly huge potatoes might actually earn a reward from the king. But he glanced at Kim Chi walking sternly nearby. Holding on to the resolve to avoid Kim Chi is more important. We need to get out of here before we're exposed. Just then, Azrahan excitedly shouted, here it is. Introducing with enthusiasm. Welcome to the trading city of Deparakia. A grand city loomed before them. At the inn, thanks to Azrahan's encouragement, both Kratos and Bahal got rooms. Kim Chi's group was also assigned rooms. But poor Sergei and Azuras were left on the floor. Monsters obviously don't get beds. Looking at the dim room with two small beds, Kratos wondered, in a bustling trade city, how's there an inn with vacant rooms that looks this run down? But he brushed it off, quickly leading the group to their mission. Whatever, our first goal is to sell the dried potatoes. Azuras, still fearful, probed Kratos. Are you really handing us over to the king? Kratos immediately denied it. Of course not. You idiot. You're my precious lightning rod. Azuras, shocked, asked, huh? I thought that job was done. Kratos casually dismissed. Just a break. You'll be back at it soon. While Azuras sulked over the revelation, Sergei suddenly warned the group. Something's off about this place. I heard human markets are supposed to be lively. She looked at the desolate, empty surroundings and continued. But this is gloomier than our demon lands. Kratos noticed a vendor dozing at a nearby stall, thinking, yeah, it felt weird when we arrived. The economy here must be bad. Can we even sell the dried potatoes? But he gritted his teeth and decided, worrying's useless. Let's do this. He set up the potatoes by the roadside, shouting, come check it out. We've got massive dried potatoes, 1 for 20 coins, 2 for 30. Pick yours now. He advertised enthusiastically. Folks, hurry up. These potatoes are tastier than your ex. Meanwhile, Bahal muttered, this is so embarrassing. Is this really our demon king? Kratos snapped back, shut up. We need to eat, got it? What's there to be ashamed of? He roared at Bahal. Demons once ate their own kind to survive. If a little humiliation gets us out of that, we should be grateful. His words stunned Bahal momentarily, but he quickly understood and joined Kratos, shouting, come grab yours, folks, House of Chow. He turned and barked at the 2 beast-formed demons. You too. Why aren't you shouting? Sergei let out a startled sound, then joined Azuras in rebelling against Kratos' tyranny. Taking a kick from Sergei's alpaca hoof, Kratos lamented to himself. Normally, when you ice guy from a modern world to a fantasy one, people sell modern stuff like ice cream or MSG-packed recipes and get rich quick. But these are just giant potatoes. Hoping to sell a lot just out of curiosity is way too optimistic. But with high spirits, the group formed a towering human pillar, chanting victoriously, that's why we've got to give it our all. Because at that moment, he recalled an old woman shivering by the roadside in the modern world, deeply understanding the struggle to survive. Just then, someone approached the stall, asking, excuse me, you're really selling these for just 20 gold coins? Kratos cheered internally. Yes, first customer. He quickly replied, yes, of course, if you buy 2. As he spoke, he glanced to the side, shocked to see a crowd already gathered around the stall, shouting, give me 4. Me too. Sell me some. I'll take 6. No, 10. Kratos was floored by the scene. Wait, what's happening? Just a little shouting drew this much attention? Sergei and Azuras, perched atop him, were calmer, urging, don't just stand there. Bahal, start selling. Yes, the Demon King's plan worked again. Kratos snapped back to reality, stammering, yeah, right. Then, his voice boomed through the market. Line up. One at a time, people. Weighing the coin pouch in his hand, Kratos smiled in satisfaction. We sold 1/3 of our stock in no time. If word spreads, we could sell out by tomorrow. He shouted excitedly to the demon generals waiting nearby. For great demon generals, wait at the inn. I'll buy the seeds and be back. The group made a cheering gesture, shouting, here's to a bountiful harvest. But later, at another stall, the vendor asked Kratos in disbelief, you want to buy seeds? Are you joking? Kratos, taken aback, asked, what? The vendor casually replied, you can't buy seeds in this city. Kratos voiced his confusion, asking again, what do you mean you can't buy seeds? The vendor replied, most of the food and seeds have been bought up by the big merchant guilds. Kratos pressed, where exactly are they? At that moment, the vendor noticed his pallor and asked curiously, but why's your face so pale? Kratos dodged the question, raising his voice, don't worry about that. What's this guild? Before the vendor could answer, his gaze caught something, and he froze in shock. This surprised Kratos as well. Then the vendor turned away, saying, over there, ask that guy. From a distance, a man approached, saying, pardon me, you're the one selling those giant potatoes by the fountain earlier, right? Looking at the nobleman with a retinue of soldiers behind him, Kratos stammered, yeah, that's me. So what? The man politely introduced himself. I am Ruslan, secretary of the Richmond Merchant Guild. I handle all affairs for the guild. As soon as he finished, Kratos wondered, oh, I see. So why are you approaching me? He thought to himself, the Richmond Merchant Guild? Is that the big guild the guy mentioned? The man then made an offer. If I may be so bold. He raised 2 fingers. 20%. We'll buy all your potatoes at a price 20% higher than what others are offering out there. Faced with this proposal, Kratos pondered, thinking, what's that? Could it be? He asked, first, let me ask you something. How much for a handful of cabbage seeds? Ruslan replied, a handful. His eyes gleamed with smugness as he coldly stated, About 100 gold coins a year. Hearing this price, Kratos' eyes narrowed, thinking, that's a ridiculous price. Based on the market capitalization of this world, 50 gold coins would be the max. Now he's doubling it. What a bunch of robbers. The Richmond Merchant Guild. They're speculators, controlling the supply, hoarding goods, and raking in huge profits. The rundown inns, the empty market, the desperate people buying potatoes out there. It's all because of these guys. So that means, realizing something, Kratos flashed a devilish grin. This puzzled Ruslan, who wondered, what's with that face? Kratos continued thinking, even if I sell all the potatoes, I still can't afford the seeds. But there's no rule saying I have to buy from them. Sure, it might be the law, but I'm a demon. Laws don't apply to me, right? As he thought, his gaze drifted to a corner of the market, muttering, Kim Chi's watching my every move. He probably senses something feasible, but I've found a way to ditch you and get the seeds, haha. Regaining his composure, he looked at Ruslan, changing his tone. So, you want to buy the potatoes? Ruslan nodded. Yes, if you sign an agreement with us now. Before he could finish, Kratos put on a haughty expression, declaring loudly, bring your boss here. The sudden shift in tone stunned Ruslan. He stepped closer, shouting angrily, I'm in charge of this entire operation. Kratos coldly continued, just an employee, huh? Acting all high and mighty. I'm not sure you have the authority to negotiate with me. He thought to himself, I'll show you I'm no ordinary merchant. Ruslan lowered his voice, explaining, I'm the second highest authority in the Richmond Merchant Guild. I have full decision-making power. Hearing this, Kratos nodded internally, then shouted, Great, then pay me 200 gold coins for one potato. You buying or not? His words hit Ruslan like a bucket of cold water, leaving him gaping. 200 is too much. Kratos smirked, enjoying himself. Oh my, your wallet's looking thin, huh? Now call your boss. Surely he'd consider it. Giant processed potatoes, plenty in stock, and in large quantities. If you want them supplied to the royal army, wouldn't that be nice? With a cold stare, he continued, here's the question. Lose money buying these potatoes, but gain exclusive royal contracts in return. Is that a loss or a profit? His sharp words darkened Ruslan's face, his teeth grinding in anger, but he was speechless. Kratos pressed on coldly. Call your boss. At that moment, dark clouds rolled in, and sudden rain poured down. Azurat and Sergei, caught in the downpour, stood helplessly. Azurat roared in frustration. Arg, I'll never forgive you, Demon King, quack quack. Sergei cautioned him, quiet. Forgot what the Demon King said? If word spreads that we can talk, we're done for. Noticing her changed attitude, Azurat asked, since when did you become so loyal? Don't you hate being dragged to human territory like this? She replied, I'm having fun, This puzzled Azurat. What did you just say, quack quack? She gazed into the distance, murmuring, I'm just curious. Since I was young, I always wanted to know what this place was like. They say there's plenty of food here, and no one eats each other. I can't imagine that. You know, my mom was eaten by stronger beasts. I wasn't even sad, just resisted a bit. You felt the same when your siblings were eaten, right? Her words struck Azurat's heart, his eyes softening as he reflected. She continued, this city's poorer than we thought, but at least people don't eat each other. Earlier, in the market, I saw hungry kids. But that man gave his potatoes to his children first. If we were born here, maybe our families could have been happy too, right? As she finished, tears welled in Sergei's eyes, mixing with the rain. After hearing her, Azurat scoffed. All this sappy talk, and you're still giggling? She replied, huh? I'm just getting used to this body. Azurat spread his wings, shielding her from the rain, saying, even demons can feel happiness. Seeing them getting cozy outside, Kratos suddenly appeared, shouting, hey, you two. His abrupt arrival startled them. Azurat explained, no, it's a misunderstanding. Sergei started crying, Sergei chimed in, Azurat's teasing me. Kick his butt. Kratos marched over, scooped them both under his arms, and cheerfully declared, follow me. We're holding an emergency meeting of the 4 great demon generals. The 4 gathered. Azurat asked, they've hoarded all the food and sell it at high prices? Sergei added, why do we have to do this? Isn't this a place with plenty to eat? Kratos replied nonchalantly, It's not about fearing starvation. They just want to make money and get richer. Understanding his point, Bahal said, Bahal knows this. When basic needs are met, the hierarchy of needs shifts to respect. Kratos snapped at the cliché. What's that nonsense? Azurat analyzed. It's not just respect, it's greed. Even with plenty to eat. He recalled their kind devouring each other in the past, lamenting. Sergei angrily added. Even when people are starving because they have nothing. Bahal said, I'm getting mad. Sensing their intent, Kratos summed up. You may not like it, great demon generals, but that's humanity. We just need to stay calm and stick to our original goal. As demons, we act like demons. We'll seize their warehouse. As he spoke, his face twisted into a terrifying expression. Back at the farm, countless whirlwinds erupted from the ground into the sky, sending dust swirling chaotically. Everyone watched the scene in stunned silence. Then a few demons started whispering. What's Lord Hartok doing? Out of nowhere, he told us to make giant stone bowls. And now he's acting like he's possessed by a storm. Hartok stood amidst the raging winds, teeth clenched, eyes wide, veins bulging on his face, letting out agonizing roars. After enduring for a while, he collapsed to his knees, hands braced on the ground, sighing heavily and thinking, it's getting harder to keep going. Then he glanced outward, suddenly snapping awake and shouting, What's with the staring? Think it's break time, you lot. His words sent the demons scattering. Zephyr approached, asking, Lord Hartok, you seem to be overworking yourself. What are you planning to do with all this water? Dozens, even hundreds, of massive stone bowls had been crafted. Hartok looked at them and said, You already know. So many demons have gathered here. There's no way we can feed them all with the potatoes we have. That's why I'll cook them in water. It'll stretch the ingredients to feed more. He growled, shouting, No demon will starve in this land anymore. His resolute declaration made Zephyr's eyes narrow slightly. He thought, why does someone doing good deeds still have such a deadly expression? Is it because he's a demon? Since the Demon King declared they'd farm, everything had changed. Hartok, once cruel and cold, was now pushing himself to produce food for their kind. What had changed him so much? Hartok stood in silence. Then a sly smile crept onto his lips as he thought, Haha, I'll get heaps of praise for this, won't I? Zephyr asked further. But Lord Hartok, heating stone bowls this big requires a lot of fuel, right? Hartok nodded. Of course. Otherwise, we'd have to tear down the homes of low-ranking demons. That's why we'll head to the Third Star Lord's territory, the sealed volcano, to hunt fire eaters. His words shocked Zephyr, his eyes widening. At Morgert City, Richmond himself, along with key guild members, arrived at Kratos's rundown inn. Looking at the shabby building, he muttered, This place. Turning to Cuslin, he said, You've disappointed me this time. His eyes glinted with disapproval. To think you'd be intimidated by some country bumpkin. If you're this foolish, how can you achieve anything great? Stay here. I'll show you how to take money from a hick. With that, he entered the inn. Inside, when a knock came, Kratos asked, Who's there? Richmond introduced himself. I'm Richmond, a merchant of this city. Since you called for me, here I am. Seeing the man he needed, Kratos replied, Oh, right, come in. As Richmond pushed the door open, he said, Then, if I may. His eyes held countless calculations. Fools drop their guard when faced with fake politeness, not realizing that smooth talkers are the most dangerous. Contrary to his thoughts, the group exuded an overwhelming pressure. All eyes turned to him, startling him as he cursed inwardly. Damn, these guys are terrifying. Kratos growled, Not gonna sit? You like standing, or what? It was just an invitation, but it carried a menacing vibe, making Richmond stammer as he hurried to a chair. All right, I'll sit. He thought, How did it come to this? They look like demons. Are those beasts really animals? Their faces are so human-like. And that drooling pretty boy, what's wrong with him? His face is even scarier. Once things settled, Kratos got to the point. So, you've heard our offer, right? Richmond, trembling, stammered. Yes, you asked for 200 gold coins per potato. Kratos cut him off. No, I said 300. The words froze Richmond in shock. He protested. No, 300 is too much. Kratos reassured. Our group includes someone connected to Azrahan. Hearing the familiar name, Richmond's voice lowered. The Azrahan family? Credos leaned forward, saying coldly, the noblest family, direct orders from the royals. Isn't it wise to ally with them? Ha ha. After intense negotiations, Richmond stepped outside, telling Cuslan, deal closed at 300 gold. Cuslan shouted in disbelief. What? Richmond continued, escort them to my estate. Prepare private rooms for everyone, including the beasts. Puzzled by the odd orders, Cuslan asked, why? Richmond replied quietly, it's just part of the terms. Seeing his boss's sudden shift, Cuslan pressed, Lord Richmond, why be so generous to these fools? Richmond, still deep in thought, turned and snapped, you idiot, you useless fool, get lost. The loss now is the fruit of tomorrow. You know nothing. He stormed off, thinking, but they're genuinely terrifying. Stung by the scolding, Cuslan bit his lip, seething silently. Back with Credos, Bahal asked, I don't get it. Why not just kill them and take the seeds? Wouldn't that be easier? Credos nodded. Yeah, that's about the extent of your thinking. Then he countered, but what if a fight breaks out and the elixir wears off? Then a war between humans and demons is inevitable. A smirk curled his lips as he said coldly, avoid war as much as possible. Sneak in, steal everything, and run. That's the best plan. He laid out the strategy. Listen up. To dominate the market, 3 things matter. First, a backer to avoid legal trouble. Second, lots of money. Third, a huge warehouse to store massive food supplies. We'll stay at his estate and find where it is. After explaining, Sergei asked, but Demon King, how do you know human nature so well? It's like you've lived in their territory for ages. Credos' face froze awkwardly for a few seconds before shifting to a terrifying expression, saying coldly, I know everything because I'm the Demon King. True, he was the Demon King, but only a fool would believe that line. Unbeknownst to them, Kim Chi, outside, overheard everything. He thought, a greedy human or the hand of fate. Then he dismissed the thought. No, it's neither. He's Demon King Credos. Elbiha approached Credos with a smile, saying, Kim Jangchiol, I didn't expect you to find us such a decent place. How'd you manage to get a spot like this? Credos waved it off. I said we'd sell our noble potatoes, and it just worked out like this. They were kind enough to offer us everything. This puzzled Elbiha, who remarked, I thought those potatoes were just big, but they actually have value. Frontina jumped up from the bed, exclaiming, Big? They're gigantic. They should have been tribute for the king. Thinking it over, Elbiha turned back, smirking. You must love them, huh? You look like those potatoes. Frontina shot back. What? How do I look like them? Elbiha studied him for a moment, then mumbled, your facial features or something. Ignoring the comment, Frontina turned to Credos. Don't tell me you sold them all already? Credos casually replied, down to the last one. This enraged Frontina, who clutched his head and let out a loud yell. Credos quickly reassured him, but they'll be ours again. We're planning to steal them back. Frontina's face lit up with a sly glint as he said coldly, then let's work together. This baffled Elbiha, who stepped forward, asking, steal? What are you talking about? Credos grinned, exactly what I said. We'll steal everything they're holding. This infuriated Elbiha, who shouted, I serve the nation. I can't overlook this. Credos raised a hand, agreeing. Yeah, you can't overlook it. Just like you can't hoard a city's food supply and ruin the economy, right? As if catching on to Credos' plan, everyone continued with their tasks. Credos approached Cuslan, saying, must be tough working so hard, huh? He suggested, shall we take the potatoes to the warehouse then? Cuslan replied casually, yeah, sure, that's the plan. But he sensed something off, thinking, those eyes, not trustworthy. Credos stepped closer, putting on a sleazy expression, and proposed, how about we check out the warehouse? I just want to make sure they're stored properly, you know. Cuslan immediately refused. No, that's not possible. Credos asked, why not? Cuslan coldly replied, our warehouse is top secret. Credos pressed, why is it so secret? Caught up in the conversation, Cuslan let slip. It's a trade secret. Keeps the meat fresh. Credos threw his head back, shouting, come on, show me that secret place. His attitude made Cuslan snap. You're pushing it. When persuasion failed, Credos dropped to the ground, rolling and wailing. "Show me the warehouse." Seeing a grown man thrashing on the ground, Cuslin yelled, "Everything has limits. We can't show outsiders." Then he turned to the cart driver. "What are you doing? Go." The driver nodded. As the cart started moving, Credos leapt up, lunged at the front, and rolled on the ground again, screaming, "Don't go anywhere. You'll have to step over my body first, or take me to the warehouse." This infuriated the driver, who stepped down with a soldier, trying to drag Credos aside, pleading, "Please move. I'm begging you." Credos kept wailing, "These are my potatoes. Where are you taking me?" He continued shouting, "Warehouse! Warehouse!" Cuslin, furious, veins bulging, roared. Credos, unfazed, kept yelling, "Warehouse! Warehouse! Where is it? Where is it?" Watching this, the three, Sergei, Azuras, and Bahal, looked utterly helpless. Bahal asked, "What's the Demon King doing?" Sergei glanced down, saying coldly, "So embarrassing, I don't even want to claim him as our Demon King." Credos, now being dragged by 4 men, still muttered, "Oh, my potatoes are drifting away into your warehouse, rotting in that dark place." From the upper floor, Elbiha felt secondhand embarrassment. Why is he doing this? Frontina stepped forward, explaining, "That's what a real man does. He's thrown away his dignity for a greater purpose. I need to learn this for my next life." Hearing this absurd reasoning, Elbiha turned, puzzled. "Why for your next life? You'll be mocked." Looking down at Credos, he thought, "Kim Jangcheol, you spoke so confidently." Credos had said, "We could dig into their crimes and punish them. But how long would it take to gather evidence, find their backers, and get a judge's attention?" His lips trembled as he continued, "In that time, people will starve. I can't bear that harsh reality." Tears welled in his eyes, falling like rain with his emotions. Across from him, Elbiha couldn't hold back his own tears, nearly letting them spill. Credos continued, "I believe you. Lord Azrahan will understand. Let's take back everything they stole, restore justice for the people." Back in the present, Elbiha was lost in thought. I understand his resolve. I'll do my best too. He recalled Credos's words. I'll find out where their warehouse is. Lord Azrahan, please prepare what I asked. Watching Credos still rolling below, Azrahan muttered, "And this is how he's finding the warehouse's location?" Below, several drivers gathered to restrain Credos. They grabbed his arms and legs, shouting in unison, 1, 2, 3. With that, they flung him aside. But with a Demon King's instincts, he easily regained his balance and rushed back to the cart. This drove one driver to yell, "Damn it, he's relentless." Like a punching bag. Watching them leave, Credos reflected for a moment, then stood, grinning widely. Haha, nailed it. Mission accomplished. A system notification appeared. For the next 7 hours, Cuslin will be extremely irritated. He revealed that the secret warehouse is at least north of here, outside the mining suburb. As the notification faded, a smug smile spread across Credos's face. From above, observing everything, Kimchi thought, if he wanted, he could have used force. Is this all for justice, or just an act? Is he a demon or a hero? The more he watched, the more puzzled he became. Meanwhile, Hartok and Zephyr arrived at the volcano. Zephyr turned, asking, Lord Hartok, the fire eaters here are strong. Shouldn't we bring an army? Hartok, deep in thought, replied, You said it yourself, they're strong. Bringing weaklings would only cause more casualties. Taking care of them would be dangerous. This is the duty of the 4 great demon generals. With that, Hartok gripped 2 iron bars of the protective fence, pulling them apart with force, bending them to create a narrow passage. His strength made Zephyr and a small dragon behind him tremble. After opening the path, Hartok turned, asking, Did you write down what I said? Zephyr nodded. Hartok ordered them to proceed inside, rubbing his nose and chuckling to himself. Perfect color. The Demon King will definitely praise me. Hartok, farming genius, huh? The fire eater had limited intelligence and an explosive temper. It should have been purged for its brutal cannibalism, but its power was too valuable, so it was sealed here. Looking at the churning lava below, Hartok shouted, Come out, fire eater Ikrit. I've got a task for you. As his words ended, the calm lava surface erupted with violent tremors. A column of lava shot skyward, soaring past Hartok's position. As the lava fell, it revealed a massive dragon, its mouth muttering, "Food, food." Facing the dragon, Hartok's expression remained calm, as if in control. But then his eyes widened, and he cursed inwardly. "Oh crap, why is it so damn huge?" Zephyr was playfully teasing T-Bong, making the little dragon squeal with joy. Seeing the kids so happy, Zephyr got more excited, rubbing his hands even harder, causing T-Bong to giggle uncontrollably. Suddenly, from inside, Hartok staggered out, his body battered, shouting, "Run for it!" Before anyone could process what was happening, a massive dragon burst out from behind, startling Zephyr. The dragon's mouth spat a few sparks, then formed a huge fireball. It unleashed a colossal flame toward them, sending them scrambling in a panic. Amid this chaotic surprise, Zephyr asked, "Lord Hartok, you went in so confidently. What happened?" With no time to explain, Hartok roared, "Shut up! That monster's grown too strong from eating fire all this time." Hearing this, Zephyr pulled out paper and pen, jotting down. Lord Hartok, who boldly declared he'd lead the charge, is now running for his life. Hearing this, Hartok gritted his teeth, snapping, "Don't describe it in such detail, you lunatic." Then he bellowed, "Retreat quickly for now. We'll find another way to start the fire." Thinking of the starving demons back home, Hartok's resolve strengthened. He turned, clenching his fists, thinking, "There's no time left." A magical orb formed in his hand, transforming into a giant hand. Charging straight at the dragon, he shouted, "I am Hartok, one of the 4 great demon generals. I'll fulfill my duty, even if it costs my blood." Witnessing this, Zephyr below was stunned. Meanwhile, little T-Bong spat a tiny glob of saliva straight at Ikrit's face. From a small patch of ice, it spread across the dragon's face. Within seconds, the massive dragon's entire body was frozen solid. Seeing this, Hartok, midair, paused in thought for a moment. His hesitation made Zephyr below do the same. As the situation temporarily resolved, Hartok landed gently. Zephyr pulled out his paper again, writing, "Lord Hartok of the 4 great demon generals looks very embarrassed." Seeing his subordinate record even such trivial details, Hartok nearly spat blood in rage, turning and shouting, "Don't write that down." Back at Kratos' location that evening, he began assigning tasks. "You 3 stay here and wait for my signal. I'll scout their food warehouse." Elbiha nodded. "Got it, leave it to me." He clenched his fist, declaring, "For the people's food." Before he could finish, Elbiha interjected, "Lord Kim Jangcheol, you seem like a good person. But your face, it's kind of off." Kratos called back, "What's wrong with my face?" Elbiha replied, "Oh, nothing. But why hide things from old Kim Chi?" Kratos answered, "He attracts too much attention in too many ways. Just the 2 of you coming with me is enough." He glanced at Bahal, then at the 2 beasts sitting in the room, took a deep breath, and smiled. "I see. It could spark conflict, so I'd better keep quiet." After assigning tasks, he leapt into action. As he moved, he thought, the plan is to get the seeds while keeping distance from Kimchi, that's obvious. Act when he's unaware. He's not tailing me now. Scout quickly and get out. After some time, Kratos reached the guild's warehouse. With masterful skill, he easily slipped past the 2 outer guards to venture deeper inside. After overcoming countless obstacles, he took a deep breath, thinking, security here is tight. One wrong move, and I'm screwed for life. War could break out any time. The biggest risk with the elixir is that if I get injured, the disguise vanishes. If Kim Chi finds out, it's all over. Where's their food warehouse? Lost in thought, he didn't notice Kim Chi appearing right behind him. Sensing the presence, Kratos turned, their eyes locking in a fiery moment. His heart nearly leapt out in fear, but he couldn't scream, trembling violently. Kim Chi, puzzled by the reaction, asked, "Why so startled?" "From my perspective, your face is scarier. Want to share food with the people? I'll help you." Realizing Kim Chi knew his intent, Kratos quickly asked, "How did you know?" Kim Chi replied coldly, "I have sharp ears, turtle-proof. Even through walls, I hear your conversations clearly." Each word hit Kratos like a punch, leaving him gaping in shock. Sweating profusely, panting, He thought. Wait. So you heard everything I said to the 4 great demon generals? They called me Demon King, didn't they? Or not? Panicking for a while, Zephyr's voice snapped him back. Why does that matter? Shouldn't we act quickly now? Hearing this, Kratos regained his composure, a smirk forming as he nodded. Yeah, you're right. He thought. If he really heard, I'd be torn apart by now. No way, he definitely didn't hear. Crouching low, he ordered, just follow me. I need to confirm the route. Seeing his sneaky behavior, Kim Chi asked, why so secretive? Can't we just kill them all? That's what I was taught. The familiar words stunned Kratos for a moment. He recalled playing the game, always using brute force, kill all enemies to win. But now, one wrong step meant disaster. He waved it off, sure, but lives are precious now. The less fighting, the better. Ending things peacefully is the best option. Hearing this, Kim Chi pondered, lowered his head, and sighed. I see. If you believe that. They ventured deeper into the warehouse. The place was vast, requiring rail carts to navigate. Observing from one side, Kratos noticed no guards and thought, strange, the deeper we go, the fewer guards. Then his eyes caught something. Ahead, several golems patrolled, their eyes scanning constantly. He thought, those are the golems from the game's lore. Weapons developed in one of the human mage towers. In the game, they were all destroyed, so they never appeared. No idea how strong they are here. While he was thinking, Kim Chi dashed forward, delivering 2 clean slashes, effortlessly taking down 2 golems. The sudden move left Kratos dumbfounded and horrified. He rushed over, shouting, you just destroyed them without worrying about alarms? I said we do this quietly. Kim Chi replied coldly. They're not living beings, so what's the issue? This is faster. Then he muttered, what's that coo-coo sound I keep hearing? This way's quicker. Kratos' eyes widened, freezing like a statue. Then his face shifted, a cunning smile forming. Yeah, you're right. As they ventured deeper inside, they spotted 3 more golems. Kratos spoke up, if we're detected and the alarm goes off, this plan will go up in smoke. So first, Kim Chi cut in, check the movement patterns of all 3 at least 10 times. Wait for a blind spot, and take out the farthest one first, right? Kratos nodded, muttering, exactly. He thought to himself. He said before he could read my mind. Could he still remember how it felt when I controlled him? Kim Chi affirmed. There's almost no opening. Looks like we'll have to strike simultaneously. 2 are close. Should we split them up and take them out one by one when they're apart? Kratos turned, puzzled. I don't know if I can take down a golem in one hit. He mused internally. I can't gauge their true strength, nor do I know how strong I am in this transformed state. Kim Chi pulled a staff from his cloak, saying, take this. Just hold it, and you'll feel stronger. Looking at the staff, Kratos thought, one of the secret ultimate weapons, the hammer Bragia's lovely heart. At first, I thought it was just a prank weapon. But the more I learned, the more I realized it's a terrifying artifact. Before the peculiar and suspicious Bragia's lovely heart, which looked like a clown's prop meant to deceive, Kratos gripped it tightly, his eyes flashing with killing intent. Just equipping it boosts all stats by 30%. With this, I can pull it off. Kim Chi reached into his cloak again, pulling out a massive greatsword, raising it high, and saying, I'll use this. Seeing him pull weapons from nowhere, Kratos thought, wait, does he really have the entire game inventory? Doraemon? No, he's Doremi. After preparing, Kim Chi said, all right, let's go. Just a bit more. Wait for the right moment and give the order now. Caught off guard, Kratos gritted his teeth, charging forward, cursing inwardly. Why's he rushing in alone? If we don't strike together. As he approached a golem, Kim Chi paused. Kratos froze briefly, thinking, he's waiting for me. Realizing his intent, Kratos dashed forward. They struck 2 golems simultaneously, each landing a clean hit to the head, easily destroying them. But the noise alerted the last golem, which began turning in an erratic pattern. Kratos gritted his teeth, lunging forward, ducking and rolling to avoid detection. He acted instantly. Beside him, Kim Chi mirrored his moves perfectly. As they closed in on the final golem, Kim Chi swiftly swung his sword, slicing it in half effortlessly. Seeing everything go smoothly, Kratos thought, that damn Kim Chi, not only fast but also perfectly in sync with me. After clearing the golems, 2 soldiers approached from a distance, muttering. 3 golems were supposed to be here. Where'd they go? From behind, Kratos and Kim Chi leapt out, each landing a precise strike to the soldiers' necks, knocking them out instantly. They landed lightly. What followed was a seamless series of coordinated moves without a single hitch. Kratos was stunned. What? What's going on? I'm moving with this jerk like we're one body. But I'm here with a terrifying monster like him. Why does it feel so fun? Kim Chi's lips curled slightly, thinking. He taught me how to kill, but now tells me not to. He once tried to destroy humanity, yet now speaks of peace. A mysterious being from another world, only making me more confused. But being around him makes me happy. If I asked, would you tell the truth about who you are? After their flawless teamwork, they ventured deeper inside. Seeing a soldier choked by Kim Chi until foaming at the mouth, Kratos shouted, Lord Kratos, you're squeezing him too hard. There aren't as many truly evil people as you think. These guys are probably just working to survive. They might carry their own emotional scars. I don't want to make them suffer more. His words touched Kim Chi, and they continued deeper. Observing the surroundings, with no guards or golems in sight, Kim Chi remarked, We've gone this far, and still no guards or golems. Kratos added, They probably didn't expect anyone to get this deep without being caught. After moving further, Kim Chi raised a hand to his lips, signaling silence. Ahead is a massive door, too big even for golems to pass easily. Kratos grinned. That's definitely the food warehouse. Ha. All right, let's head back quick to grab what we prepared. As they turned to leave, Kim Chi stopped him. Wait, someone's coming. From a distance, Richmond approached with 2 massive golems. As they reached the door, the guard golem's eyes turned red, its robotic voice stating, Who's there? No one is allowed here. Leave in 3 seconds, or face attack. Richmond calmly raised his hand, a ring on his finger glowing, shining into the golem's eyes. Its eyes turned green, and it said, Blood of Lord Richmond confirmed. Welcome. The massive door opened. Watching from behind, Kratos frowned, muttering, Wait, what? They verify with blood? This just got a lot easier. Inside the warehouse, countless agricultural products were neatly arranged on shelves, leaving Kratos awestruck. They've stockpiled so much, from bread to vegetables. Perfect. There are seeds, and they're preserved flawlessly. He turned to propose. Lord Kratos, slight change of plan. There are 3 golems gathered in one spot. If possible, take them out in one strike. Kim Chi nodded, easy as pie. He vanished from his spot, charging forward, swinging his sword, effortlessly destroying the 3 golems, clearing the path for Kratos. Kratos grabbed Richmond's shoulder, startling him. Richmond shouted, Who's that? Kratos didn't answer, clenching his fist and landing a punch that sent the old man reeling, collapsing backward. The sudden move caught Kim Chi's attention. A malicious grin spread across Kratos' face. Kim Chi recalled Kratos' words. They might carry their own emotional scars. I don't want to make them suffer more. Back in the present, witnessing the scene, Kim Chi's eyes narrowed, thinking, He's just a madman, isn't he?